Radio check, radio check. We should be live. Thank you everyone for tuning in and welcome along to the coverage here for the Miami Grand Prix. As you can see up there on the screen, that is the weather forecast, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of the race. In 30 minutes time, that is what it's saying the rain is going to be. So this is going to be very, very exciting, and I cannot wait for the race start. As of this moment in time, the circuit is dry. It's dry enough. There are dry lines forming. Earlier, 2 hours ago, the circuit was absolutely drenched. There was a huge thunderstorm over Miami. The Formula One Academy race had so much water going on. I mean, it was ridiculous. That's how much water there was, right? It was totally drenched. The circuit, though, does have very, very good drainage as the FIA safety requirements. They have to have a very good, quick drainage of the circuit. So in the gap between when the thunderstorm finished and till right now, the circuit has dried up. The sun came out in the meanwhile, and it dried the circuit up. However, as you can see, track temperature, just before when I loaded up the data, track temperature was up at 45 degrees, 46 degrees. It is dropping. The sun is now behind the dark grey clouds, and this is what you can see. So yeah, this is going to be very, very exciting. Okie dokes. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. So, the rain is forecast to fall right at the start of the race. However, if it doesn't fall, then most likely what we're going to see is the teams go on to medium tyres. So the strategy for today, quite likely going to be a one-stop if it was all dry conditions. However, given the wet conditions that we can see on the screen there, it's most likely the drivers are going to start on the medium tyres. They're going to push them really hard at the start of the race as soon as they get the message from their race engineers being like, rain expected in 5 minutes, rain expected in 10 minutes. And then once the rain starts falling, they'll pit off their medium tyres and they will come on to the inters. Okay, I have the Austrian server. Why doesn't it work? You might have to try it on a different device. You might have to go on incognito mode. There are a couple of other tricks you'll have to try. I won't be able to fix everyone's issues, but yeah. Try on a different device maybe, and it might work. But we have a lot of people in the stream that do use it, so it seems like it's working for everyone else. Wet and exciting indeed it is. All right, we've already got all 20 drivers. Oh, sorry, not all 20. We've got 19 drivers lined up on the grid. We've got one driver still in the pit lane. That driver is Pierre Gasly. He is taking a suspension change to his car. So he's going to have not a suspension change, a suspension modification. He's modifying the setup of the suspension. And because of that, he's going to be starting from the pits. Of course, I think that might also optimize the car a little bit for the wet conditions as well, just to make it, him perform slightly better in the wet, and well, that'll be very handy for him. So everyone's starting on their normal grid positions apart from Pierre Gasly, who'll be starting from the pits. I don't know why we have a yellow flag there. It's probably just because the marshals have flagged something up. There'll probably be some debris, dirt, dust, something they'll be clearing up very, very soon. And no, Charles Leclerc hasn't crashed. That has not happened just yet. And I don't think he'll do it again. And honestly, yesterday it wasn't even Charles Leclerc's fault. I would just like to reiterate, maybe I did make a mistake slightly earlier on in the stream. In yesterday's stream. It was not Charles Leclerc's fault. He aquaplaned. However, it was Ferrari's decision to send him out on intermediate tyres. When this track was absolutely soaking wet, they sent Leclerc out on inters, and he aquaplaned. And he aquaplaned on mediums. He should have been on wets. All right. Are the Lego bricks cleared? Yeah, there is still quite a bit of. I saw that there was the full size Lego cars, which is quite incredible to be fair. But yeah, they were driving around on the circuit, which was interesting. Okay. It was a very fun parade, to be fair. It was a very fun parade. The weather report says it will rain for the next hour or so. Yep, that is exactly what the weather report on the screen is also showing. Huge, heavy thunderclouds upon us in Miami, and sooner or later, the heavens are going to open, and we are going to have water hitting the track. Who do you think will win today? Ooh, I have no idea. It's good, I think Verstappen starting in first position is going to have a great shot, especially when you're in first in wet conditions. You have no spray ahead of you, which is a very, very big disadvantage for any driver behind you. But of course, if you're in the lead, it's going to help out significantly. So I think Verstappen will, whoever leads into turn number one, whoever leads lap one, I think they'll have the best shot just because they'll have the clear air. If the thunderstorms will the race tomorrow, no. The race, if the race happens, if there are huge thunderstorms today, then the race will either happen today or it won't happen at all. The other thing to point out here, if there is a lightning risk, if there's a risk of lightning striking the circuit, then they have to abort the race. They have to cancel it because there's a very high risk that it could strike one of the Formula One cars with their hybrid power system, and it could create a very, very big issue. There could be a fire, it could be the drivers get electrocuted. We're not really sure, but lightning and batteries and electricity really aren't a good mix. So if there's a chance that there's going to be a thunderstorm, then they will probably have to cancel the session. I will let you know on anything that happens. We'll get the messages from race control, and I will keep you up to date on what is going to happen on the race today. All right. I don't know what's the procedure and the device called where the team member holds a cylindrical device near the driver's cockpit just before the race start. I saw it in Max's car, device producing smoke. So they have what it is dry ice. They put dry ice, in the cockpit of the car just to cool it down before the drivers get in. They also put it in all of the cooling ducts as well, so they have the fans blowing air into the cooling ducts, but then they also have dry ice on the other side of the fans, and that dry ice is obviously very cold, and that's the smoke that you can see, and that's what's cooling down all the components inside of the Formula One cars. Yeah, the cars do have rubber tires, and that is true. However, lightning, it can jump from the rubber onto the ground. Like it's a pretty powerful thing. So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, the FIA have released their safety document, and they've said that if there's lightning going to happen, they're going to stop. So I'm sure the FIA will have done their calculations. They're very, very good when it comes to safety. Not so good when it comes to penalties, but you can trust the FIA when it comes to safety. And if they say there's a risk, I'd rather believe them. Okay. If the race is cancelled, will they award points at all or not? No. So if they complete, I think, more than 25% of the race distance, they give out half points. And if they complete more than 75% of the race distance, they give out full points. But yeah, and most likely no points are... Well, if the race gets cancelled before it starts, no points will be awarded. But, ladies and gentlemen, may I stress this to you right now, it is not currently raining. The circuit, as of this moment, is dry. The drivers did their laps to the grid on medium tyres, medium tyres, hard tyres, soft tyres. They did not use intermediates. They did not use full wets. So as of right now, the race will still start in dry conditions. The question is, when it starts raining, the heavens are going to open up. How heavy will the rain be? Will it get red flagged? We'll just have to wait and see. But the forecast looks extremely heavy. Okay. Chances of Merc getting P1? Well, Antonelli did brilliantly for his first race in Formula 1. He was in Australia and in the wet conditions managed to score some points. So his progression since Australia has been sensational. He got knocked out, I think, in Q1 or in Q2 in Australia. Now he's got pole position in the sprint qualifying. So, if that improvement is anything to go by, I think Kimi Antonelli can definitely get a race win today. Okay, a couple other things to mention. We've got both Williams ahead of both Ferraris. How the tables have turned, I have no idea, but Williams are really on an upward trajectory, and Ferrari not so much. They're having more and more issues. As they try to make the car faster and faster, it seems to get slower and slower. Just the typical Ferrari way, really. But Charles Leclerc and Hamilton both complaining about the brakes, the balance, the pace just not being there. Leclerc even said afterwards, after the qualifying, that the Williams cars got there on merit. It wasn't, Leclerc made a mistake in quali or anything that meant that he got out qualified by the Williams. It was pure pace. Leclerc did the best qualifying lap he could and still could not get ahead of the Williams drivers. Another thing I would like to mention here is that the McLarens, we've got the McLarens in second place and in fourth position. However, there is one thing that sets Max Verstappen apart from the other drivers, and when it counts, he can hook up the perfect lap to put him on pole position. And if we look back through all of the lap times that Norris and Piastri did during yesterday's qualifying session, if they had hooked up their best first sector, their best second sector, and their best third sector, if either of the McLaren drivers had done that, they would have been on pole position. But they didn't. Both drivers messed up their qualifying laps on the final run of Q3, whereas Max Verstappen was the driver that delivered every single one of his three sectors on his final quali run were his best three sectors, and he managed to get pole position there. Norris, if he had hooked up his perfect sectors, he would have been 2 tenths clear of Verstappen, and the same thing could be said for Piastri, but they just couldn't do it. And this is what I'm saying. This is what sets Max Verstappen apart from the other drivers, the great from the good. That's what separates them. F1 Gamer track temperature is 42.8, but you told heavy rain. The heavy rain is expected, as you can see up there on the screen. The rain hasn't started yet. We are still 20 minutes away from the start of the race. The clouds are getting darker and darker, and we should have rain arriving, 10 laps into the race, maybe even at the start of the race. It all depends on, what the skies want to do, but they are getting very, very dark. And honestly, it's time for, Skyfall to start playing in your head. That's how dark it's getting. Okay. Yeah, the clouds are causing the day to turn into night. Okay, add F1 Gamer, what is your name? My name is F1 Gamer. That's what it says on my passport. It's midnight in India. I'm getting sleepy. Well, I would suggest that you have some coffee, because today's race is going to be absolutely mega. F1 Gamer, do you have a wet lap prepared? Unfortunately not. Honestly, after looking at the forecast again, it said 10% chance of rain for today as well. So I don't have a wet lap prepared, but I shall take you through a lap of the circuit, a dry lap, and honestly, the drivers will be starting the race at least in dry conditions, so it'll still be fairly relevant. So you make your way out of the final corner, and you come down the start-finish straight here. We've got a fairly short run, actually, from the starting grid. As you see here, the Williams car is going to come across the start-finish line, and this is going to be the pole position slot there on the left-hand side. And you've only got a run of around 150, 200 meters before the drivers get onto the brakes for turn number 1. So not the biggest run, and your traction, the first 100 meters is going to be critical to getting a good start, and that's what we saw from Piastri yesterday. Then you make your way through the first sector. This is where Verstappen gained all of his time. The car was sliding around, it was dancing on the limit of grip, but Verstappen managed to control it and set a purple first sector, and that's what got him pole position. Then you make your way down the back straight. You've got DRS here. As long as the circuit is dry, DRS is still active, and you'll be gaining up probably 15-20 k's of top speed as you go down the straight up into 8th gear. Slam on the brakes at the 100-meter mark, hit this apex for turn number 11, stay on the road, don't hit the barriers at turn 12. This is where we saw Alonso and Lawson tangle, and Alonso end up in the barriers. Then over the curbs you go at these corners, and it's very, very tricky, very slow speed, but you rely on the mechanical grip of the car, and well, then you make your way onto the second straight of the circuit. Very, very long once again, and you've got a DRS zone to help you out with overtaking into turn number 17. We saw loads of battles here yesterday as well, and we're going to see a couple more today. And you hit the apex, third gear, smoothly onto the power, minimize the distance to come across the line, and that is a lap of the Miami Grand Prix circuit. Fantastic, fantastic. Also, I would just like to point out this lap was recorded by Alessandro Finn. I wasn't able to record it. Alessandro Finn, he is currently 16th in the world in terms of time trial in Miami. So a record-breaking lap from him, and thank you very much for him sending that lap to me. He's got a YouTube channel if you guys do want to check that out. His name is Alessandro Finn. Do you think Behrman can get into the points? Well, let's have a look. Behrman in 19th position. The thing is, though, you can get a great race start and gain loads of positions. Lance Stroll yesterday started the race in what position? He started in 15th, made his way all the way up into 6th position by the end of the sprint race. With all the penalties applied, Lance Stroll ended up much, much higher. So, well, That's what I'm saying. You can definitely gain positions. You just need a good race start. Stroll went up 5 positions on the opening lap, and Lawson did the same as well. So that's the key to getting up into the points. You know, if you're starting down in the bottom 15 in the bottom 5, then you need a good start. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, tough race for you to make it up to the points. Is the start delayed? No, it is not. 15 minutes now till we get underway for the start of the race. Currently, it is still dry on the circuit. However, we have got huge rain clouds forecast. Also, folks, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. It really does help out the channel. Hopefully, we can make our way towards, I didn't update the like goal, but normally for races, we set that to 8,000. So if we can hit 8,000 likes, that would be fantastic and very much would be appreciated. Okie dokes. All right. In classic American fashion, you've got like an F-35 or something flying over the top of the Miami circuit. Fantastic, really fantastic. I think it's an F-35. I don't really know, but typical American stuff. And we'll be getting underway for the race very, very shortly. They've just played the national anthem, and 15 minutes now till we have the formation lap, and we get underway for some racing. Okay. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We got Mark Webber here on the circuit. Mark Webber, of course, he is Oscar Piastri's mentor. They're both Australian drivers. Mark Webber has taken on a bit of a sort of a management mentorship role now in Formula One. He's being Oscar Piastri's manager. He's helping him out and helping him get quicker and quicker as his career progresses. And a bit unfortunate for Piastri actually. If you exclude yesterday's qualifying session, every other qualifying session this season, Piastri has been within 1/10 of pole position. So super consistent from Piastri. Yesterday did make a mistake on his lap and was 1.5 tenths back from pole. So nonetheless, very, very good job from Piastri. Very consistent. However, not that 1/10 stat that he was previously holding. Nonetheless, Piastri, though, he has got 33 race starts without a DNF, so he's been doing a fantastic job at not crashing the car. He's only got a 5% DNF rate in his entire career, which is the lowest out of any driver that has completed a full season in Formula One. So, yeah, I've just got to say, huge props to Oscar Piastri. He's improving fantastically as a driver, and sooner rather than later, he's already competing for the championship, currently up in first position. Okay. Why is Gasly in the pits? Gasly is going to be starting the race from the pit lane because he has got a suspension change. He's modified the setup of his suspension, and that is why he's going to be starting the race from the pit lane. A little bit unfortunate, but he was right at the back of the pack anyway, so he's going to have a bit better of a chance when the race comes around. He'll have a slightly better tyre wear and things like that, so that should work in his favour. All right, we've got 7,500 people tuned into the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. Be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe. If you guys do want to watch all of the coverage for only $2 a month, all you've got to do is get Surfshark VPN. There's a link in the description, there's a link in the chat. You get Surfshark VPN, it's $2 a month. If you buy the 2-year package, then what you do is you go to the Austrian VPN server, you join that one, go onto Google, search Service TV, make an account, log in, job done, you can watch Formula One. The commentary is German, so of course if you are from Germany, then that'll be perfect for you. If not, then you can mute the commentary and listen to mine instead. And there you go. You can enjoy Formula One for a much cheaper price than F1 TV. So yeah, nice little handy trick for you guys if you guys are interested. Okie dokes, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. Okay, let me know what your predictions are. Who do you think is going to crash on lap number 1? Are we going to have all of the drivers make it through? If the rain falls, which driver is going to crash out? And who do you think is going to end up in the second position spot? So I'm going to go with Antonelli scores his first podium of his career. He ends up in the race in second place today. That's my prediction. The Mercedes don't have the best race pace once it's hot, as we saw in Saudi Arabia. As it got hotter and hotter, track temperature went up and up. The Mercedes tires were wearing out much quicker than the McLaren's tires, much quicker than the Red Bull's tires. So hopefully, with the clouds covering up the sky, track temperature should continue to fall, and the Mercedes should have a little bit more pace in their hands. Okay. F1 Gamer will crash into Yuki into turn one. Well, we've got Kimi Antelli in the chat. We've got Yuki Tsunoda in the chat. I think we had Carlos Sainz in the chat as well. We've got loads of drivers coming along into the chat. And well, thank you everyone for tuning in. And well, we are going to have an absolutely mega race here, ladies and gents. Current weather status is still dry, but the clouds are just getting darker and darker. I don't know how to say this, but the rain is forecast in 10 minutes. Currently, the forecast that you see up on screen is for the time that the race is meant to start. So either it's going to start raining in 10 minutes or it's going to start raining in the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes. That is what the forecast is saying. So we've just got the message from Race Control, risk of rain 30%. So the risk of rain is going down a little bit, but nonetheless, the clouds are there. And who knows what will happen. I will keep you updated on the rain situation. You'll see messages over the team radio. You know, the drivers will start communicating with their engineers saying, oh, when is the next bit of rain forecast? Is there rain forecast? Things like that. So, yeah. All right, we are about to get underway then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll be getting underway very, very soon. Honestly, everyone, start doing your rain dance because... yeah, we need the rain to arrive. Yeah, the FIA is saying 30% chance of rain, but I'm sure if you go on Google, it will say 80% chance of rain. If you go on some other website, then it will say 90% or 60%. Like, it's all a little bit up in the air because it's very unpredictable. This is the thing. The forecast was scattered thunderstorms, and this is the hardest thing in sort of meteorology to predict because, well, these thunderstorms sort of just arrive out of nowhere. They disappear into nothingness, and it's very difficult to predict when they're going to arrive, where they're going to arrive. So, yeah, that's why you're seeing such varying numbers from all of the different sources. Hoping for a tornado to make things interesting. I mean, if a tornado happens, honestly, the downforce levels of the cars are going to be absolutely screwed. So I think the cars won't get picked up by the tornado. They'll just consider, you know, these cars have got huge amounts of downforce, so they probably won't get picked up by the tornado, but nonetheless, their aerodynamics will be totally screwed up. And here we are then, ladies and gents, 8 minutes from the start of the Grand Prix, and we have got the drivers all with their helmets and race suits, balaclavas, everything on now, and they'll be lowering themselves into the cockpit of their car very, very soon. Sharknado, yeah, honestly, a Sharknado, that would be, I don't know if you guys have watched Sharknado, but honestly, it is a masterpiece of cinema. There is nothing that can go better than Sharknado. I mean, there's like, on my list of favourite films, it's Sharknado, then you've got like Interstellar, then you've got Ford versus Ferrari, like... Sharknado is incredible. What a piece of cinema that is. Okay. Anyway, if you guys haven't watched it, you should really check it out. I mean, even the trailer will get you laughing out your chair. Like it's hilarious. But I digress. We have got 57 laps of racing here. If the conditions stay dry, the recommended strategy by Pirelli, start the race on the medium tyres, then go on to the hards. The alternate strategy, start the race on the hard tyres, then go on to the mediums. And then the third quickest strategy, start the race on the mediums, then do 2 stints on the hards. That's probably going to be optimal when track temperature is high. However, track temperature is low right now. Look, it's dipped down to now 37 degrees, and we've got more cloud cover, more of the sun being blocked out. Track temperature is falling further and further. Why is Gasly in the pit lane? Gasly has got a modified setup for his suspension, and that is why he's starting from the pit lane. We've got 10,000 people tuned into the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage, and we'll be getting underway for the race very, very soon. All right. Here we go then. Here in America, 30% chance of rain means 30% of the area is going to have rain. No, that's correct. However, it's not particularly helpful. Sort of like, obviously you know that 30% chance of the area is going to have rain, but I suspect that's just going to mean 30% of Miami is going to be raining. So it's sort of similar to just saying that there's a 30% chance of rain going to occur. But nonetheless, we'll just have to wait and see. I will let you know as soon as I see any raindrops on the broadcast. I'll be screaming. I'll be over the moon as soon as I see any raindrops. As long as it's not George Russell's sweat. If that's the case, then I'm going to be quite disappointed. Okay, and yeah, we're going to have 57 laps of racing around here. So the pit stop windows, they're going to be lap number 20. That's going to be your pit stop range for the medium tyre runners. And so they're going to do 20 or so laps on the mediums. Then they're going to do 40 laps on the hards. And then, of course, if you're doing it the other way around, you're starting on the hards, then you're going to go 40 laps on the hards and then 20 laps at the end on the mediums. Right. George Russell sweat. Blimey, there's rain on my visor indeed, yeah. Alright. What were the orange areas for the yellow flag? The orange areas, honestly, sometimes the marshals are just testing all of their systems. They press the yellow flag button, they get a message from race control being like, oh yeah, we see the yellow flag, and then they turn it off again. Like, they're just checking everything works. And yeah, in the same way that the drivers now are doing radio checks and stuff like that, will be getting underway very, very soon. And it's all in preparation for the start of this race. Why do we want rain? Because the rain is the great equalizer. It makes things so much more exciting. And, well, that's why we want the rain. F1 Gamer is an actual tornado in Miami. It is. There's not. There is not an actual tornado in Miami. What country are you from, mate? I'm from the UK. You probably would have. Maybe you can tell from my accent. Maybe you can't. But yeah, I guess I've got a sort of British accent as from the UK. Is it raining now? No, it is not currently raining. I will let you know when it starts. All right, so let's, we'll do one lap of the grid. We'll do one lap of the circuit, sorry. Then we'll go through the grid, and then, of course, we'll be underway for the formation lap. So here we go with an onboard. This is what the drivers are going to be experiencing as they come out of the lap exit as they come out of the final corner on lap number 1. This is what the lead driver is going to be seeing. They come across the start-finish line. Down the main straight they go, all the way to the left-hand side. Maximize as much entry curb as you can, and then you're flat through turn number 2 and 3. Then you make your way towards turn number 4. This is very, very tricky. This is where Verstappen gained all of his time yesterday, and this is how he got pole position. His car was dancing on the limiter grip as he went through these corners, and it was mind-blowing to watch. Honestly, you should watch the pole lap. You can see the car just ever so slightly moving, but Max Verstappen driving it to perfection on his pole lap. Then you go down the back straight. You've got DRS here as you pass through turn number 9. Great overtaking opportunity towards turn number 11, as long as you don't hit another driver and do what Liam Lawson did. I don't know still how he didn't get a penalty for that, but I digress. We'll see what happens today. Maybe they'll give out the penalty slightly quicker. And you make your way through now the slow part of the circuit. This is where you've got the big chicane. You've got to drive over these curbs, otherwise you lose a lot of lap time. And then you come out of turn number 16. Very important to get a good exit. You may even kiss the barrier on the outside. It is fine. It's not going to do too much damage, but you've got to be careful there. Otherwise, too big of a shunt, and that's your rear suspension gone. And see you later. Okay, and then you're coming down the back straight here, up in 8th gear, braking at the 110 meter mark, into 3rd gear, smoothly onto the exit, and well, you open that DRS flap, come across the start-finish line, and that is a lap of Miami, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everyone for tuning in so far. We are 2 minutes away from the start of the race, and I'm going to take you through the starting grid before we get underway for the formation lap. Gasly is in the pit lane because he's got a suspension change. He has modified his setup, and he's going to be starting the race from the pits. I think he was only going to start in 18th position anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much that he's going to be starting from the pits. Okay, so this is our starting grid, ladies and gentlemen. Pierre Gasly starting the race from the pit lane. We've got Oliver Behrman in 19th position. He had a mistake in FP1, not the greatest sprint quali, and not the greatest quali. It'll be a weekend to bounce back from, and hopefully he can do a good recovery drive. We've got the two Astons in 17th and 18th, not ideal for them, especially after Alonso made it through into SQ3 in sprint qualifying. There was all of the performance just evaporated seemingly as they made it into normal qualifying. We've got Nico Hülkenberg and Liam Lawson in 15th and 16th position. Lawson with some amends to make and hopefully a little bit more of an improvement in his overtaking ability. And Nico Hülkenberg also did brilliantly in the earlier sessions of Q1. Right at the start of Q1 he did fantastically, but that pace didn't last right till the end of the Q1 session. He ended up getting eliminated. Then we have Jack Doohan in 14th position. He's he's been doing well, doing better than Gasly actually, and out qualifying his teammate, which is always great for a rookie. Same thing for Bortoleto in 13th position. He's been out qualifying Hulkenberg, and he has been a dark horse really. And everyone's eyes been on Antonelli. He's been doing fantastically, but Bortoleto, he is one to watch as well. Hamilton getting a knocked out in Q2. He's got a lot of ground to make up. He said, in the interviews afterwards that the brake balance was off, the balance of the car was off, the brakes were having issues. Loads of issues for the Ferrari team, both for Leclerc, both for Hamilton. They both got out qualified by Williams. So major issues at Ferrari, and they're going to have to fix these sooner rather than later. They've got an upgrade package for Spain. Hopefully that can turn things around for them. We got Isaac Hadjar in 11th position, great quality from him. Tsunoda in 10th, made it through into Q3, but at the end was 7/10 back from Max Verstappen from his pole time. So still, he's making it through into Q3, which is a start, but still a lot of work left for Yuki Tsunoda to match the level of Max Verstappen. Esteban Ocon, brilliant lap from him to make it through into Q3, 9th place after all, and hopefully he can have a good race. Then we have got Charles Leclerc in 8th position. We've got the two Williams in 6th and 7th, which is mega, really. They've had a fantastic race weekend so far, and I hope that they can continue on and potentially score a podium. That would be fantastic. And we are underway here for the formation lap, ladies and gentlemen. We have got Max Verstappen, Norris, Antonelli, Piastri all leading the way from the front, and we are underway. Let me get rid of this weather information, and we should have the tyre information coming through very, very shortly. In fact, let me give it a quick refresh. Okay, the tyre information should come through very, very shortly. Fantastic. And if the tyre information doesn't come through, we're going to have to blame the FIA here, because it's going to be the FIA's fault if it doesn't happen. Okay, so here we go then. We've got Max Verstappen leading the way, and the rest of the starting grid, let me continue on. So we've got George Russell in 5th place. He got out-qualified by his teammate, so, he's going to have all eyes focused on beating Antonelli, because, George Russell is the number one driver here. Antonelli is, well, clearly he's the rookie, but sooner or later Russell is going to have to establish that fact. And Russell's GPS is broken again, ladies and gentlemen. The issues just never stop from the FIA. They are a multi-billion-dollar sport, and they can't get Russell's GPS to work. I mean, it's ridiculous. And apologies, folks, but Russell's GPS is just gone again. We've got Piastri in 4th position, lining up alongside Kimi Antonelli. Antonelli with a mega lap to split the McLarens. And then, of course, we've got Lando Norris in 2nd place, and Max Verstappen with that magical lap yesterday, and he stuck it on pole position. Let's wait and see what will happen. I don't know what's going on with the FIA. We don't have tyre information either, and normally the tyre information comes through by this point. Normally it comes through 10 minutes before the race actually gets underway. So I'm frankly disappointed that the tyre information hasn't come through, and ladies and gents, it's not looking all that great, really. I'll keep you up to date on who's got what tyres, but it seems like most drivers are out on the medium tyres. Most drivers are out on the mediums because, that's the optimal race tyre. You're going to get a good race start off. Everyone now weaving left, right, getting all of the temperature into their tyres, and we are getting ready to go racing now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Here we go then. We are going to have 57 laps of racing ahead of us, and this one is going to be a fantastic race. We have got rain potentially forecast for later on in the race. Keep your eyes peeled on the radio messages. I will let you know if I see any raindrops on the coverage. But Max Verstappen now making his way towards the starting grid. He's going to line himself up on the left-hand side, and we've got Lando Norris on the right-hand side. This is going to be a fantastic race start. Max Verstappen doing his final couple of burnouts, getting the rear tyres right into the correct window, and Charles Leclerc and all of the other drivers doing the same now. They're all doing their burnouts, getting everything into the correct range. Folks, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Hopefully we can make our ways towards 8,000 likes. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button either, I'm running a giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe and type one message into the chat, then you can win Surfshark VPN, and you can watch Formula One coverage for free. And if you don't win the giveaway, what you can do is get Surfshark VPN, join the Austrian VPN server, search Servers TV. You can watch Formula One for $2 a month. It is, we've got loads of people in the stream currently watching it, but that is the end of that. I'm sponsored by Surfshark, so I just have to tell you that. But we are getting underway for the race here. We've got the last car approaching the grid, and we have got the green flag is waving. We have got 1, we have got 2, we have got 3, 4, 5 lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. Max Verstappen gets a fantastic start, cuts off Lando Norris immediately going into turn number 1. A bit of a lock up there from Max, but he manages to just keep it ahead on the road. The McLarens are side by side, but Verstappen, oh my goodness me, and Norris has lost so many places. There was nearly contact between Verstappen and Norris, and Antonelli is all over the back of Verstappen as they head towards turn number 7. What is going to happen here? And we've got a yellow flag at the back. Doohan's going slowly, Lawson's going slowly, and Verstappen is up in first position. His championship rival Lando Norris loses 4 positions off the race start. Oh my goodness me. Doohan is crawling around. It seems like he's got a pretty big issue there. I think it might be a puncture for Jack Doohan, and that might be a virtual safety car to neutralise the race. But we've got Kimi Antonelli just chasing down Max Verstappen here, and yeah, Doohan's got a puncture. Doohan has got a puncture, so I suspect they're going to have to deploy the virtual safety car, given that he's got a long way to go to make his way back to the pit lane. Apologies here for the data just freezing slightly. I will try to stop that from happening, but as I can't, I really can't do much. This is the FIA systems. Russell's GPS is broken, everything's lagging, but I'll try to do my best. Okay, and we continue on, and Verstappen has pulled a 1.2 second gap to Antonelli, and there we go. All the data. Oh, Russell's GPS is back. Okay, so it looks like the FIA fixed a couple of things, and Verstappen leads the way out of lap number 1, and the gap is 1.2 seconds. Piastri is all over the back of Antonelli. Here they go towards turn number 1, and he just stays ahead. Antonelli just stays ahead by the finest of margins. All right, this is going to be a fantastic battle between Antonelli and Piastri. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be mega. Doohan is still crawling around. Surely they've got to do something, because Verstappen is going to catch up to him very, very soon. There's potential debris on the circuit at turn number 3 and 4, but most drivers are going to avoid that. There's no issues there. But Jack Doohan still crawling around. Is he going to make it to the pits before Verstappen catches up? And what are they going to do there? We've got 31,000 people tuning into the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. We are underway for the race. Yellow flag is out. Jack Doohan is going very, very slowly. Has he stopped? He's stopped. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Probably about 1 full lap too late, but virtual safety car's out. The race has been neutralized. DRS has been enabled. So as soon as the VSC finishes, DRS will be enabled, and we're going to have some fantastic racing. Okay. Doohan has parked up to the side of the track. Norris comes over the radio complaining, he forced me off, mate. I don't know what I'm meant to do, just drive into the wall or something, like I was completely alongside. So Lando Norris thinks he was alongside. He thinks that Verstappen should get a penalty. There will be investigation into that. I'll let you know once his stewards start doing that investigation. VSC is out. Jack Doohan is retired from this race. He has got a front left puncture. He's unable to make it back to the grid, to the pits. And just looking at the race start, he clipped the inside barge board of Liam Lawson, and that's what gave him the puncture, and that was him out of the race. Really, there was nothing that he can do. He did puncture at turn number 2. So yeah, very, very unfortunate there for Jack Doohan, and he's pulled up to the side of the road. It won't be long before we get underway. As you can see, his GPS has just disappeared off the map there, and things are going well. The VSC will be ending very, very soon. I'll let you know once we get the message from race control. Okay, we've got 33,000 people tuning into the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. The rain is not falling as of now. The rain is not falling. I will probably remove it from the title. The rain is forecast to fall in the next half an hour or so. So I'll let you know when and if and when it starts falling. But thank you everyone for tuning in. What happened? So I'm just going to replay what happened with Max and Antonelli. So in fact, I've got an onboard here. So I'll just show you really. So they're going down the main straight here. Let's see. Just coming down the main straight towards turn number 1. So Verstappen is on the outside, I think. No, Verstappen's on the inside, sorry. Verstappen's on the inside, and then he's on the inside line here. Then going through turn number 2, Norris is on the inside, Verstappen's on the outside, and they just kind of get a little bit sideways. Norris is getting sort of forced into a corner, and that's basically what happens. They have a small issue just going through turn number 2 and 3. Norris goes slightly off the circuit, and the issue is that, he did go off the circuit, but the problem is it was raining like 2 hours ago, and because it was raining 2 hours ago, the off part of the circuit, off the track, it is soaked, and Lando Norris lost so much grip because of just driving over water. That's what lost him all of that time. So, there was a little bit of contact. I'll just confirm if there was contact or not, but they were both very, very close, and Norris went off the road, and the reason he lost so many places was because of the water, not because Verstappen hit him or anything. It was just purely because the off the racing line, the track was soaked. Okay, we've got the virtual safety car out. Still, the virtual safety car is not coming in. I don't know what's going on and why it's not coming in, because Jack Doohan is off the road very safely. So we'll be getting, in fact, track is clear where Jack Doohan parked up. So virtual safety car is ending. We've got the message from race control. VSC is ending, and we're getting underway for racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Did Max get a penalty? I will let you know. I don't think the stewards have investigated it just yet. Track is clear. Green flag is out. We are racing. DRS is enabled. Here we go into turn number 1. What we're going to have Russell versus Piastri. Antonelli versus Piastri. Russell also closing up as well. They're going to be 3 wide nearly into turn number 1. This is getting very, very spicy. Okay, Jack and Lawson had a tangle. That's why Lawson's right at the back of the pack, and that's why Doohan is retired. Hamilton makes up a place on Isaac Hadjar going into turn number 1. Caught him napping on the VSC restart. Hamilton gets ahead of Hadjar. Good job there, and the experience coming through. Isaac Hadjar hasn't done all that many VSC restarts in his Formula 1 career. Lewis Hamilton has done absolutely loads. So good start there from Lewis. And Piastri, look at this, right on Antonelli's tail. DRS is enabled. He goes towards turn number 11. He's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS, he pulls off the racing line, but he's got to be careful. There is water offline. Piastri super late on the brakes, says thank you very much. And in fact now, look at this, he's a man on a mission. He's within DRS range of Max Verstappen. Verstappen was purple in the first sector, but Piastri with the slipstream is right on, is going to catch up to Verstappen ASAP. So let's wait and see what happens. Norris as well, he's got to get past the Mercedes as well. We know the McLarens are quicker. The question is, will Norris be able to pull off those overtakes? And Piastri, while looking ahead to try and catch Max Verstappen, he's also got to look behind him now. We're going to have Antonelli battling away and Russell battling away. They're probably going to work as a team now. Antonelli and Russell are going to work together. So Lando Norris stays behind, and hopefully they can get ahead of Oscar Piastri. We'll just have to wait and see. Purple in the middle sector for Piastri. DRS has been enabled. Verstappen comes across the line. We are currently on lap number 5 of 57 here in Miami. And Oscar Piastri with a fastest lap of the race. He's going to be catching up at a rate of knots. Okay, further down the field, we've got a little bit more battling going on. Bortoletta's going to try and overtake Isaac Hadjar. Ocon trying to overtake Yuki Tsunoda. But not too many overtakes into turn number 1. Turn number 11, that's the big overtaking opportunity. That's where we're going to see most of the overtakes happen today. Sainz purple in the final sector. Great toe that he got from his teammate Alex Albon. And the Williams duo worked fantastically as a team last weekend out, and they're going to do it again this weekend. They're 6th and 7th position. If they can hang it in there, then they're going to keep Charles Leclerc behind, and they're going to keep Yuki Tsunoda behind, and they're going to score some solid points for the Williams team. So they'll be over the radio. They swap positions, in fact. Sainz gets ahead of Alex Albon, but they're going to work together as a duo and hopefully not lose too many places to the other drivers. Tyre information. Unfortunately, ladies and gents, they still haven't got the tyre information. The FIA are having some issues, and clearly they can't tell us which tyres everyone is on. I will let you know, but by the looks of it, everyone is on the medium tyres. Everyone is going to be on the mediums. It's just that the FIA, for whatever reason, can't display it. Apologies there. All right, and apologies for the lag as well. It's just, what can I say? The FIA just doing FIA things. Okay, but all eyes now on the gap. Russell is closing up to the back of Antonelli. We know that Russell is probably the lead driver when it comes to Mercedes, and he's going to have the preferential advantage sometimes. Are they going to swap the drivers around? Are they going to battle amongst themselves? We'll just have to wait and see. But as they come across the start-finish line, Piastri is just out of DRS range, 1.1 seconds is the gap. Verstappen doing a fantastic job of managing that, and Piastri's going to use everything he can, all of the overtake, all of the strategy modes, and we'll have to wait and see. The incident between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris at turn number 2 has been noted, ladies and gentlemen. It's been noted, which means it will go under investigation, and then we'll see penalties awarded potentially. I will let you know what happens. I don't know what is going to happen. The stewards will have to do their investigation. Okay, heavy rain in 20 minutes. Okay, well I'll double check, but apparently someone said in the chat heavy rain in 20 minutes. Unless they're trolling, I have no reason not to believe them, because the forecast was saying it was going to rain, and the clouds do look fairly menacing. Oh, and look at this, Oscar Piastri. Oh, he was within DRS range, and he's just dropped out of DRS range again. And it's very, very tight here, especially through that slow part of the circuit. It's very tricky to stay within DRS range. Piastri's going to do his best, but the gap was 0.9 of a second. It dipped up to 1.3. So, yeah, big margin and big loss of time going through the slow part of the circuit. All right. Here we go. Then Behrman fastest through the speed trap. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. If you get a huge toe, huge slipstream, then you're going to be perfectly quick through the speed trap. I mean, look at this. Behrman is in a DRS train there. He's got DRS and slipstream off Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Stroll, and then that's where Behrman is. So that's why he's got the quickest speed through the speed traps. We're on lap number 7 of 57. The pit stop windows are lap number 20. So we'll be probably seeing the drivers pit around about then. Given that we had a couple of laps of safety car, then what that means is that will be pushed back a little bit. Oh, look at this message to Pierre Gasly, possible rain in 20 to 25 minutes. It's north of us. So we have got rain, ladies and gentlemen. Lando Norris tries to overtake George Russell. He does so. What a move from Lando Norris. George Russell can do absolutely nothing about it. Russell was trying to overtake Antonelli. They didn't work together as a team, and Lando Norris said, thank you very much. I'll take that 4th place off you. So Norris up into 4th place. He's doing his recovery drive. Let's wait and see. He's now got Antonelli next up on his overtaking list. Is his former best friend, well, it's not former best friend, still is probably best friend, George Russell. Is he going to be able to get an overtake done on Lando Norris into turn number 11? No. And he's, well, we'll wait and see if he can make one stick in towards 17. But the time that he's lost through that slow part of the circuit, he's lost the DRS. Very, very unfortunate. And Lando's going to be making a comeback, whether Max Verstappen gets a penalty or not. In fact, no, Max Verstappen will not be getting a penalty. They've reviewed the incident between Verstappen and Norris. No further investigation, ladies and gentlemen. No further investigation. And Lando Norris, if he wants to win this race, he's going to have to do it on the track. And there's going to be no penalties, no help from the FIA. Okay, here we go then. We are on lap number 8 of 57. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Hopefully we can make our way towards 157k subscribers. That will put us on track for hitting 200k by the end of the season. And also, folks, if you are interested in watching all of the coverage for Formula 1 for only $2 a month, you can get Formula 1 for $2 using Surfshark VPN. You've got to buy it using the link in the description. Then you can join an Austrian VPN. You search Service TV into Google, and Service TV is free as long as you're in Austria, which you can do via being in an Austrian VPN. And we've got about we've got about 80 people in the chat currently watching it using Service TV. So thank you everyone for bearing with the sponsor spot. I'm going to do my best to block adverts from YouTube so you don't have any other adverts, but occasionally, because I'm sponsored by Surfshark VPN, I do have to point that out every so often. Piastri, he's within DRS range of Max Verstappen. Now his only job is for the next 3 corners, just hold it together, Piastri, come on. And if you can get within DRS range, we're going to have a fantastic battle. Here he comes out of turn number 16. What is the gap? It is 1.008 seconds, but crucially, he was close enough at the detection point. He's going to have the DRS coming down the back straight now, which means he's going to have the DRS coming through the main straight towards turn number 1, and that is really going to help him to close up. Norris closing up on Antonelli, huge. Oh, he looks to the inside. In fact, Norris is super late on the brakes, but he doesn't get a move done on Antonelli on this occasion. He's going to try and overtake him into turn number 1 here. Let's wait and see what Norris can do. Piastri as well, he is gaining on Max Verstappen, and we have got both McLarens on the overtaking hunt. Let's wait and see what is going to happen. Why no tyre data? Honestly, the FIA, it's the FIA's fault. I don't know why we have got no tyre data, but Piastri is right on Verstappen's tail, and Lando Norris is as well. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think it's going to be? Going into lap number 10, will Verstappen be leading the race? Will it be Piastri? Who's going to be in that 3rd place spot? Is it going to be Antonelli? Is it going to be Lando Norris? Here we go. Piastri's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream, he's got the overtake button from the McLaren engineers. He opens the DRS, and he is gaining. We've got rain expected on lap number 14. Heavy rain expected lap number 14. That's the message over to Oscar Piastri. Going towards 11, Piastri doesn't get the overtake done. Norris, however, does look to the inside, says thank you very much to Kimi Antonelli, and he gets that overtake done. We have got a McLaren 2-3, and rain expected, ladies and gentlemen, in 5 laps time. 5 laps, and rain is expected according to the McLaren engineers. The Alpine engineers said the same thing, so not long now till the heavens open and we have a brilliant race on our hands. I mean, the race is already brilliant. Piastri is gaining and gaining towards turn number 17. Can he get the overtake done? Unfortunately not. It was so close. But now towards turn number 1, what can he do? We've got Gasly. He just overtakes Fernando Alonso. They're nicely done. But Alonso going slowly. I don't know if there's some issues there. Alonso has got some issues. He's driving very slowly. I don't know if that's an engine issue, car issue, but yeah, something going wrong there for Alonso, and we'll have to investigate further. And Piastri is right on Verstappen's tail as they go towards turn 1. He is gaining and gaining. Ooh, just a little bit too far back to get that move. He's practically pushing Verstappen through that first corner. And now they head towards the first sector. And we'll wait and see what happens there. Alonso, let's see if he comes into the pit lane. And yeah, his speed trap, well, he's just not looking particularly quick, really. I don't know if he's lost time. Oh, he had a spin. Alonso had a spin. And then I think the car went into sort of a safe mode, an anti-stall mode, and that's why he was driving around a little slowly. But the car just spun around. Seems very, very strange. And he was following another driver. I think he was following Behrman, and then the car just spun around. Piastri, looks to the inside. Can he get the move done at 11? No! It is so close between these two drivers, and Verstappen has to go defensive to defend against Oscar Piastri. Oh my goodness me. We have got a race on our hands coming towards turn number 17. Piastri is hot on Verstappen's tail. This is the closest he has ever been. We've got half a second is the gap. He opens that DRS flap. The Mercedes engine is absolutely screaming. And here we go then. The DRS is open. He is gaining. He looks to the inside. Verstappen goes defensive towards turn number 17. Who's it going to be? Verstappen is so late on the brakes. That's what got him pole position yesterday. He was so late on the brakes at turn number 17. And he just manages to hold it ahead. Piastri now towards turn number 1. What can he do? But this battle is just going to keep on brewing, and every single time these drivers go defensive, Lando Norris is going to catch up Piastri. He tries to go around the outside, and he gets ever so close. Verstappen, though, is having absolutely none of it. They are going side by side into one, and oh my goodness me, this is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Purple first sector for Max Verstappen. He is pushing like nobody's ever seen before, but Lando Norris is the driver that's catching up. He's got the clean air. He's not battling away with anyone, and he's got a fastest lap of the race. And the other thing, we've got rain arriving in 3 laps, 3, 4, 5 laps, and the rain is going to start to fall. A heavy rain to that as well. So this race cannot get any better. Here comes Piastri towards turn number 11. Verstappen once again to the inside. Piastri is side by side. Here they are. And can he get the overtake done? Oh, Verstappen just holds it ahead. He is so late on the brakes, even later than Daniel Ricciardo. Oh my, oh my. And Piastri just has to wait to fight for another day. Here they are. And every single time they keep battling, Lando Norris is catching up. We have got... we've got around 10 laps till the drivers come into the pits, but probably before that the rain's going to start falling. Here we go then. And Lando Norris is catching up. I mean, honestly, Norris is going to be happy about this. Piastri in his ideal situation for Piastri, he gets the overtake done on Verstappen, says see you later, and Norris isn't allowed to catch up. But it is just not going that way. They come over the radius of Lando Norris saying, we are the quickest cars on the track. The cars in front are fighting. Let's make hay where the sun shines. So they're just telling Lando Norris, while these two drivers ahead of you keep battling, let's catch up. All right, and they come over the radio to Max saying, stay on the inside, Max, let him work for it. I think you don't need to tell Max Verstappen how to defend. Max Verstappen is an absolute master at defending, and he is putting his car at exactly the right places at exactly the right time, and Piastri can do nothing about it. It is going to be a very hardly fought battle, and as they keep battling away, Lando Norris is catching up. We got Albon versus Sainz again, and those two drivers working well as a pair. Sainz staying within DRS range for Albon, so the Williams stay as a DRS duo. Actually, that's a new phrase. DRS duo for the Williams duo, and they're staying ahead of Charles Leclerc that way. So brilliant thinking by James Vowles and the Williams pit crew. So that's how they are. That's how they're staying ahead of the Ferraris, and brilliant teamwork. Right. Oh, we've just got a donation. Thank you for the donation. I've totally missed it. The chat's going by so quickly. Jamlock885, big up for the great commentary as always, mate. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Thank you very much for the donation, buddy. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. Hope you guys are enjoying the commentary. And Piastri once again is gaining. Lando Norris is setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be mega. Okay. Here we go then, here we go. What's it going to be? And he's gaining and gaining. There's going to be a great struggle between these two drivers. Piastri, who looks to be who's the current world championship leader, Max Verstappen, defending the world championship. And Verstappen comes over the radio. It's super slippery to drive. I don't know if that's referring to the rain, but I think the Red Bull is getting wearing out its tires a little bit too much, and Verstappen is dancing on that limit of grip, which he was doing in qualifying. But how many laps consistently can he do that? Also, folks, radio message from Yuki Tsunoda. Okay, 10 minutes until the light rain. It might get heavier after it hits. So light rain is expected, and still 10 to 15 minutes out. That's what they say to George Russell. So we should be getting rain sooner rather than later. But yeah, clearly the message that's saying it was going to arrive at lap number 14 was wrong. And we're getting rain in lap number 23 or so, which, might I add, is much, much better, because that is the pit stop window. So we may have some drivers come into the pits early, and then they'll have to come in for another stop, and that's going to throw the strategy wide open. We'll just have to wait and see. Everyone Gaming, can we get the tyre history? Unfortunately, no tyre history, ladies and gentlemen, today. The FIA system is broken. They can't even broadcast it, but everyone is out on a set of medium tyres. I would like to confirm everyone is out on a set of mediums. Yeah. The FIA system is broken, and that's why we can't see anything. Alright, Lando Norris is catching up. Within 3 laps, he's going to be right on his tail, but Verstappen again to the inside, Piastri to the outside, and Verstappen is doing absolutely everything he can. Piastri, though, tries for the switchback, and he gets the DRS into turn number 1. Round the outside he goes, and great move there. Does Verstappen get ahead? No, Piastri, by the finest of margin, swoops around the outside. Verstappen was on the inside line, but Piastri takes the switchback. Verstappen too late on the brakes, and thank you very much for says Oscar Piastri. But now we've got a 3-way fight for first position. Piastri versus Verstappen versus Lando Norris. It cannot get any better than this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness me. Hamilton trying to overtake Esteban Ocon, but it's not going well for him. He's still got a lot of recovering left to do. He's down in 11th position there. Okay, I mean, who is it going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Who is it going to be? Who's going to win this race? Who, until the rain starts falling, who's going to be leading? Piastri is going to do his utmost best now to break that gap. Verstappen is 9/10 behind, going through the middle sector, and he's lost DRS. Verstappen loses DRS. The Red Bull car is worn out his tyres. Verstappen has pushed the car to the limit. The Red Bull doesn't have the pace against the McLaren, and he said, my brakes, honestly useless. Okay, so Verstappen complaining about the brakes here. Track temperature is quite low. Air temperature also 26 degrees, lower than what you would typically expect in Miami, but still, Verstappen's brakes are overheating, and he's under threat of getting overtaken by Lando Norris here. He is not going to give this one easily, because, well, he knows that if Lando Norris gets by now, then that is race over, game over, and he's losing points to both McLaren drivers in the championship. So Verstappen is going to fight this one tooth and nail. Norris tries to swoop around the outside. He does so, and Verstappen's brakes just aren't there. He cannot keep up with Lando Norris, and oh my god, how has he done that? He just gets ahead. What incredible from Max Verstappen, and they were side by side, and again a little bit of contact between Verstappen and Norris, and Verstappen just manages to stay ahead. Honestly, fantastic battling, and Piastri is like, thank you Max, thank you very, very much, because he's just pulled a 3-second gap to the driver in second place. Huge from Oscar Piastri. Purple in the first sector. He's like, you guys can battle here, I'm going to drive away into the sunset. Well, he's not going to drive away into the sunset. What he's going to do is drive into the thunderstorm. We have got a thunderstorm arriving in 10 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen. 10 minutes. Okay, and wow. Okay, now into turn number 11. Norris not able to get ahead. He looks to the inside, but Verstappen knows that he's just far enough ahead. And now going through the slow part of the circuit, Norris is losing time. Let's wait and see what happens. Oh. And Verstappen comes over the radio saying he was not ahead, and Verstappen is correct once again. Verstappen he knows his rules to absolute perfection, and he puts his car in the perfect position, and he always manages to stay ahead when he has the opportunity to do so. Now heading towards turn number 1, once again Lando Norris is going to try the overtake. He's made a couple of overtakes here previously. He has not got the fastest lap of the race as of now, but he's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream. Let's wait and see what he can do towards turn number 1. He tries once again, but Verstappen is defending, and he is defending like a lion. There is nothing that Norris can do, and Verstappen Verstappen, lap after lap, car positioning is absolutely perfect. The gap between Verstappen and Piastri, it was 3 seconds on the previous lap. Look at it now, it's 4. Piastri is running away with this one. He is the Dutch Minister of Defense, is Max Verstappen, and he cannot be stopped. Wow. Okay. I mean, there's honestly, I would love to comment on what's going on further back the field, but there's genuinely nothing. Hamilton is trying to overtake Ocon, still can't get that overtake done, and Behrman's trying to overtake Stroll. Apart from that, nothing happening further back. It's all just kicking off right at the front. And Verstappen, for the second time running now, he has to go defensive into turn number 11 because he knows Norris is getting closer and closer, and his tyres are wearing out as well. Verstappen's tyres, you can see it on the lines that he's taking. The brakes that his brakes aren't working as effectively as before, but well, he's not giving up. He's not giving up just yet. And they come over the radio, everything everywhere, just all over the shop. That's what Verstappen says. The car is not doing what he wants it to do, but somehow he is just clinging on. And Piastri says, thank you very much. Look at that. It's up to 5 seconds now. Every single lap, Piastri is gaining 1 second. Fastest lap of the race for the man from down under. And now, for the 4th lap running, Lando Norris tries to overtake Max Verstappen into turn number 1. Verstappen still too late on the brakes for Lando Norris to do anything about it. Incredible scenes here in Miami. We're on lap number 17 of 57. We're approaching the pit stop window. Lando Norris might try and pit, but with rain potentially forecast, the chances are that all of the drivers are going to try and extend out their stint. Wait and see what happens with the rain and the water. If you look at the weather forecast, it seems like the rain might arrive. It might not. It's a little bit unpredictable. We'll just have to wait and see. Wow. We've got 40,000 people tuning in this live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. This has been absolutely mega. And here comes Lando Norris again towards turn number 11. He tries one towards the inside, and it looks like he might have just squeezed ahead of Verstappen. They're side by side, and Norris just gets ahead going into this part. But Verstappen's not giving this up. He's only got to stay behind Norris for 2 corners, and then he can re-slipstream DRS past him. So here they go through turn number 16. Norris did get ahead, but now this is the key corner. Verstappen gets a good exit. He's got the DRS. He's going to use all of the overtake button. The VTEC mode is kicking in for Honda. And can he re-overtake Lando Norris? Let's wait and see. Into turn number 17. He's gaining. Yes, he can. So late on the brakes is Max Verstappen. And Lando Norris, he's going to try this one again. Can he get the overtake done towards turn number 11? Turn number 1, he's got the DRS. Verstappen is on the inside line. He's defending for his life. Side by side into turn number 1. Who's it going to be? Verstappen still stays ahead. Incredible scenes here. Wow. Re-overtake from Max Verstappen, and look at this gap, 8.5 seconds. Piastri, honestly, once this race finishes, Piastri needs to buy Max Verstappen like a car or something. This is a huge gap that he's helping him out for. Wow. Yeah, Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen are going to be best friends after this race. Honestly, I can tell you that for certain. And Piastri, he's on 18 lap old medium tyres. He's still setting a purple first sector. Incredible scenes from Oscar Piastri. Incredible pace. And now we've got Lando Norris again trying to overtake Verstappen into 11. And this time, the overtake has been sealed. The traction is just not there from the Red Bull car anymore. The tyres are really wearing out. And now this is going to be the final chance, I think. If Verstappen can hold it ahead of Norris going into turn number 17 now, this one could be mega. And Antonelli is catching up here, ladies and gentlemen. Verstappen has been fighting tooth or nail with Norris, but now he's not realised that Antonelli is going to close up as well, which could really spell trouble, because as soon as Antonelli closes up, then we've got Russell, then we've got Albon, then we've got Sainz. Everyone's arriving at the scene of the action. So well, let's wait and see. All right, into 17, Verstappen can't get the overtake done. He's not close enough. And this is his last opportunity. If he can't get the overtake done into 1, that is it. He's lost second position. But my oh my, as he put up a fantastic fight for us. Into turn number 1, he goes so late on the brakes. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We have had a spectacular battle between Verstappen and Norris, and unless Norris makes a huge mistake now, Verstappen, he has sealed that second place, and his teammate is 9 seconds up the road. 9 seconds! Hamilton still stuck in 11th place. Oh my god, Hamilton, just press the K1 button, man. Like, you've got to overtake Ocon somehow. I know you've both got Ferrari power units, but please. Norris forced Verstappen over the radio here. Sorry, not forced him over the radio, forced him off the track. He said he went himself off the track and he overtook me. So Verstappen is, he's complaining over the radio as is expected. We'll see if there's any investigation involving that incident though. Nothing as of now from the FIA and from race control, but Norris was so late on the brakes that he missed the brake, he missed the track himself. He went off the circuit. So did Max, and I think it's fine now. Norris has got that position anyway, so nothing of that is going to happen. I think that was a previous replay that I just got to watch now, so apologies for that. There's not going to be any penalty given out to Lando Norris. The overtake that he did just get done on Max Verstappen was fair and square. We still have that rain on the way. Russell over the radio saying, "It is raining, ladies and gentlemen. This cannot get any better. We've just had the battle finish between Verstappen and Norris, and the rain has arrived. I just hope that it's not sweat. Please, George Russell, don't be seeing sweat in your visor. I want the actual rain to start falling, and that would be mega." All right, keep your eyes peeled now for radio messages. It says it's for Sonoda that rain in 15 minutes, but they come over the radio to Piastri saying possible light drops around, no heavy rain expected. So we'll wait and see. Currently there is it's been noted, Norris versus Verstappen leaving the track and gaining an advantage. And we've got Bortoletto into the pits. Bortoletto, the first driver to come into the pit lane, and we'll wait and see what happens there. All right, Lando Norris, though, now he's in second position. He's got clean air ahead of him. He's going to try and catch up to his teammate. The thing, though, now is that he was stuck behind Max for, 6-7 laps? So his tyres are really, really worn out behind Max Verstappen. And, he's got a lot of work to do to catch up to his teammate. And with those worn out tyres, it's going to be tough. So it might be ideal for him to actually come into the pits early and, and then we'll try and gain via an undercut or something. Okay, ladies and gents, I do have to point this out. I'm sponsored by Surfshark VPN. If you guys do want to watch Formula 1 for only $2 a month, then what you've got to do is get Surfshark VPN for $2 a month. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the chat comments. Then you got to download it onto your computers, download it onto your phone, join the Austrian VPN server, and then you can search Service TV on Google, and then you can watch Formula 1 for free via Service TV. The only thing you have to pay for is Surfshark VPN. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the chat as well. The commentary is in German, so if you don't understand German, then you can mute that and listen to mine. And if you do understand German, then it's absolutely perfect. But thank you very much for listening to that, and I'll continue on with the commentary. Also, folks, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Hopefully, you can make our way towards 8,000 likes. And I'm also running a giveaway for Surfshark VPN. If you guys do want to enter the giveaway, all you've got to do is hit the subscribe button, and then you can type a message into chat, just one message into chat, and that enters you into the giveaway. And the winners will be announced after the Imola Grand Prix. So the race after Imola, that's when the winners will be announced. Okay. We'll try and keep up with the more. Actually, I'll just activate slow mode. Apologies here. We've got a lot of people spamming, typing stuff in the chat. You can always type one message. Just don't spam into the chat, folks. It just ruins the experience for everyone. I'll turn slow mode on. So there we go. The rain. It looks like it's less likely to hit the racetrack here. I've just got another look at the weather radar, and the rain is now diverted. It's diverted slightly away from the circuit, and it probably is not going to be arriving. So we'll just I'll double check and see some more things, but it looks like it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Also, the incident between Norris and Verstappen, there's no further investigation. That has been case closed, and no penalties given out there. Verstappen, however, he got overtaken by Norris. Norris has pulled out a big enough gap there, 4 seconds already. However, Verstappen does have the pace to stay ahead of Antonelli. Norris, in fact, fastest lap of the race. He goes a 10th quicker than Piastri's fastest lap, and goes 3/10 quicker than him on the previous lap overall. So Norris, man on a mission. After that bad race start, he's going to try and overtake Oscar Piastri, but we shall wait and see what happens. Piastri's got a huge gap, and Hamilton now trying to to overtake Esteban Ocon. Comes out of the final corner, turn number 17. He's got the DRS and the slipstream wide open in towards turn number 1. Still cannot get the overtake done. Ocon doing a fantastic defensive job. And ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly like what we saw in 2023, I think. Leclerc and Kevin Magnussen were battling away for so long at the Miami Grand Prix in 2023. And it took about 12 laps and a pit stop for Charles Leclerc to get ahead of Kevin Magnussen. So I feel like we're getting deja vu all over again. Yesterday we had deja vu of the safety car helping Lando Norris to win the race. Today we've got deja vu from Lewis Hamilton being stuck behind Ocon, and he comes over the radio saying, stop talking over the radio when I'm in a freaking battle, man. Geez. So yeah, Hamilton not pleased, Ferrari engineers talking over the radio. Not surprised really. They should probably add that to the words of wisdom. And they up into 11th position. Finally, Hamilton gets that overtake done. We are 22. Oh no, he doesn't. Ocon just re-overtakes him, and we're 22 laps into this race, and Hamilton is still stuck behind the rear wing of Esteban Ocon. Ocon swoops around the outside. A sensational move from Esteban Ocon. Hamilton, I would like to point out, he's on the hard tyres. I did say earlier everyone's on the mediums, but correction there, Hamilton is on the hards. That's why he's stuck behind Ocon, and he's going to be going for the first 40 laps without a pit stop. Then he's going to go on to the mediums right at the end of the race. Finally now, he gets ahead of Ocon. Will Ocon re-overtake him into turn number 1? Let's wait and see. Norris gains on Piastri. Yes, he does. He gains another 0.3 of a second. And, you know, fair enough. Except that the thing now is Norris is pushing like crazy. In fact, Piastri's now got a fastest first sector as well. Both McLaren drivers are pushing. The question is, whose tyres are more worn out and who's going to have to come into the pits first? All right, we've got Isaac Hadjar into the pits now. He is coming in on lap number 23. This is where we expect all of the medium tyre runners to come into the pits now. We're entering the pit stop window. So, yeah. Take of that what you will. We're going to see a lot more drivers coming into the pits very soon. Okay. Even George is on hards. Okay, well, let me put that out as a correction as well. I will just double check George is on hards. But yeah, apologies, the data just is not working today, and we have no tyre information. Bit of a mess from the FIA, really. Bit of a mess. All right. Yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I really do appreciate all of the support, folks. I mean, it's incredible. We've got 40,000 people watching the stream. That's enough to fill an entire football stadium. That is incredible. So yeah, be sure to hit the like button. I'll be commentating for all of the races into next season, for this season, next season, all of the quali sessions, everything. So if you're enjoying the coverage, then be sure to subscribe, and hopefully you can hit 157k. We're 3,000 subscribers away. Oh, and the other thing is, we're also going to try and break the record of most subscribers gained in a single second in today's stream. It's a bit of a wild record, but the aim is to get 5,000 subscribers in a single second. So we'll have to time it perfectly, but hopefully we can get 5,000 people watching, and we can break a world record, which would be, you know, not 5,000 people, 5,000 people hitting the subscribe button. But we'll do that later. As of right now, Oscar Piastri, purple lap, and he is quicker than Lando Norris by 11 milliseconds. Sorry, not 11, 13 milliseconds. But nonetheless, these two drivers are so comparable to each other, so equal. And even now, 24 laps into this race, we are going to see that. We're going to see that the drivers, they're still only 13 milliseconds apart in terms of lap time. That is incredible. We've got Ocon into the pits. He comes out on a set of hard tyres for Esteban Ocon. And also we can't see who's done how many pit stops. Okay, I will... we still can't see who's done pit stops. I will let you know. You know, of course, it's a little bit tricky with no one being able to see tyre information, but I will keep you up to date on who's done pit stops. So far, we've got Hadjar, Ocon, Bortoleto, and Stroll that have done pit stops. Okay, Albon and Sainz not teaming up anymore. Yeah, they've broken the gap, but the thing is they don't really need to team up anymore, mainly given the fact that, well, the gap, Sainz isn't under threat of being overtaken by Leclerc, and Albon seems to be so quick that he could potentially overtake George Russell. So that's why they've decided to stop working as a team, and they're saying like, right, well, Sainz, you're not under threat of being overtaken, so now let Albon go and let him try and catch up to George Russell. We'll wait and see what those two drivers can do. Oh, we've got the tyre information. Fantastic. The FIA finally sorted their system out, and we have got the tyres coming through. And as you can see, we've got George Russell on a set of hard tyres, Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Behrman, Gasly, and Ocon and Alonso all on hards, and the other 8 drivers who haven't come into the pits yet, they're all on medium tyres. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, we are approaching now the halfway point of this race, and all of the drivers on the medium tyres, sooner or later, they're going to have to come into the pits. I still don't know how the McLaren drivers are setting purple laps, because I know the fuels were burning off. That makes the cars slightly lighter, but incredible scenes from them. They're just gaining lap time, and that on the last lap, they were a full second faster than Max Verstappen, which is mind-blowing. They've just come over the radio to Yuki Tsunoda saying, okay, we can start to use the tyre, cancel all tyre saving. Tsunoda comes over the radio saying, copy. So that's an indication that Tsunoda, he's going to do maybe 1 or 2 push laps and then start coming into the pits. So expect to see Tsunoda into the pits very soon. Albon has got DRS on his former Formula 2, rival George Russell, and let's wait and see. Okay, they come over the radius of Lando Norris. Possible light drops of rain for the next 2 laps at turn number 17. So still light drops of rain. It looks unlikely. The rain clouds are missing the circuit. They're flying over just slightly north of the circuit, and they're going to touch turn number 17, but that's about it. And Antonelli into the pits, Sainz into the pits, 2 drivers into the pits at the same time, and we'll see what happens there. Alright, Albon though still on George Russell's tail, and Russell's, this is the thing, he's on the hard tyres, Albon's on the mediums. At this stage in time, the hard tyres should be quicker, but Albon has still got the pace, and he is doing a fantastic job. Oh, Antonelli gets held. There's another car coming out through the pit lane, and he loses the position. He doesn't lose the position, but he loses a fair amount of time, and Carlos Sainz is going to be hot on his heels as he exits the pit lane. So Antonelli is going to be under pressure from Sainz sooner rather than later. Once Sainz clears the traffic of Nico Hülkenberg, Sainz is going to be catching right up, and then we're going to have Albon versus Russell and Sainz versus Antonelli. Here we go then. Oh, yeah, Sainz and Anthony came into the pits, but their tyre information hasn't updated. So the tyre information is there, but it's not the most up-to-date information, as you can clearly see. Sainz and Anthony both came into the pits. It still says they're on medium tyres. That is incorrect. They've came out on hard tyres, but clearly the data just does not want to update today. Right, let's see, are we getting any more box messages? They've got 1 overtake available for Carlos Sainz, so I think Sainz is going to use that to get ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, and we'll wait and see what happens there. Verstappen looks like he's coming into the pit lane. Verstappen into the pits, okay. And yeah, those medium tyres really wore out a lot, so now he's coming into the pits for a set of hard tyres. Okay. Poco Leung, thank you for the 50 Hong Kong dollar donation. This race is so worth it for me to wake up at 4 a.m. in Asia. The fights are amazing. Honestly, yeah, fantastic race so far. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the donation. And amazing that you're up at 4 a.m. really. Absolutely mind blowing. All right. And fastest final sector there for Carlos Sainz. Huge final sector from him, and obviously a bit of a slipstream and overtake but helping him out, but he has gained a huge chunk of time there. Brilliant. And Ocon in fact goes purple in the final sector. He's got a slipstream off Hadjar, and that's what gets him a purple actually, and he takes that off Carlos Sainz. But the thing is, in the first sector where downforce dominates, is Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri, lap after lap, again and again, purple in the first sector. All right, 30-lap old tyres for Norris. I mean, they're very, very old tyres for all of these drivers now. We're approaching the halfway point. In fact, we're just approaching the halfway point now, and the drivers will be coming to the pits very, very soon if they haven't already. It's not showing up that the drivers have come into the pits, but Verstappen has come into the pits, and so has Antonelli, so has Albon, so has Sainz. Oh yeah, Albon also into the pits as well. So Albon into the pits. He's going to now try and undercut George Russell. That's the plan. Apologies here for the data glitching out, folks. It is the FIA doing FIA things. We've got Verstappen trying to overtake Lewis Hamilton here. Verstappen with the DRS, with the slipstream, looks towards the inside at turn number 17, says thank you very much. I'll see you later, Lewis, and cheers for the DRS. And up he goes up into 6th place. Tsunoda comes into the pits, and we've got Antonelli purple in the first sector with those fresh tyres. That's going to be absolutely brilliant for him. Then we've got Albon purple in the middle sector. Antonelli, fastest lap of the race. The man is on a mission, and he's going to try and catch up to his teammate George Russell. Okay. Oscar the Silent Killer is in championship winning mode. Indeed he is. Honestly, look at that gap. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier, like Norris is closing the gap up. No, he is not. Look at that gap. It's still 8.7 seconds. Norris has taken absolutely no time out of Piastri. And Piastri is lap after lap, consistency after consistency. And he is maintaining that gap up in the front. He has driven off into the sunset. There was no thunderstorm that arrived, so yeah, I'm safe to say that Piastri has driven off into the sunset. We'll wait and see what happens with the pit stops. We may potentially have a safety car as well, as a little bit more chaos starts to kick off. We've got Hadjar versus Alonso versus Ocon down in 13th position. Albon tries to overtake Kimi Antonelli, and slow pit stop for Antonelli, and then Albon is right on his tail. Oh, we've got a driver going slowly. Someone is going. Behrman has had issues. Turn number 7, and just as I said, there could be a safety car. Someone is going slowly. What is going on here? The McLaren crew are rushing outside with a set of hard tyres, and they realise that both drivers are past the pit lane, but any driver that hasn't come into the pits now, surely now is the prime time. With the safety car about to come out, surely it's going to come out with Behrman coming out, with Behrman stopped on the side of the track. There it is, VSC deployed. Surely now Hamilton, Leclerc, why didn't Leclerc come into the pits? Ferrari, what are you doing, man? And Russell as well should have come into the pits. Alright, well, Hamilton's into the pits regardless, and he's going to gain a bunch of time. Pitting under the safety car gains you 11 seconds. We saw it happen yesterday with Lando Norris, and he gained a bunch of time, and Hamilton is going to gain a bunch of time. He sorely needed it as well. He was stuck behind Esteban Ocon for so long. This is going to be one little break for Lewis Hamilton, and hopefully that helps him out. But VSC is deployed. Behrman is stopped on the side of the circuit. We've got a couple more drivers into the pits. Alonso into the pits now as well. And Alonso was a hard tyre runner, so he's decided, oh, screw the hard tyres, I'm going to come in for a set of mediums and go out till the end of the race. And you could probably do it, given that all of these drivers, Piastri, Norris, Piastri and Norris have done it on medium tyres, and they've been setting fastest lap after fastest lap. I'm sure Alonso could take mediums all the way to the end of the race. We are exactly at the halfway point of the race. It's a perfect time to pit if you haven't come into the pits already. The VSD is still out, and I'm sure the McLaren crew are ready and waiting, while Piastri is going to be entering the pit lane. Okay. Here we go. Alright, thank you everyone again. We don't have Sky here in New Zealand. Can't follow F1 if it wasn't for your channel. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you do want to watch all of the coverage and watch all of the onboards and stuff like that, then all you need to do is get Surfshock VPN. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the chat. It costs $2 a month if you buy the two-year plan, and you get the Surfshock VPN. Download it onto your computer. Join the Austrian VPN server. You Google Servers TV, and you make an account. You log in, and job done. You can watch Formula 1 for free using Service TV. Of course, you have to pay for Surfshock, but Service TV is free. So if you guys are interested, check that out. It helps the channel as well. I get a little bit of a kickback every time you buy something. So go ahead and check that out. Okie dokes. So here we go then. Charles Leclerc, he's coming into the pits now. The VSD is still deployed, so it's still fine. He's not actually lost that much time if he came into the pits before or after. It's still fine regardless, but I'm surely they should have just called him in earlier. But anyway. It is okay. VSC is ending. Actually, so Leclerc is going to lose time. VSC, we've just got the message over race control. So Leclerc makes his way out of the pit lane. The green flag is out. Leclerc ends up losing time. It is the Ferrari strategy. It is the Ferrari master plan. It always goes wrong. And Leclerc comes out of the pits in 7th position, a little bit further back than where he should have been. Okay, so everyone has done their pit stops now. Everyone has completed their pit stops. For anyone listening to this, apart from Nico Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg and Gasly haven't done their pit stops, but apart from that, everyone else has come into the pits. So I'll just read out who has come into the pits. I'll just read out the positions in order for anyone listening to this stream like a radio broadcast. So we've got Piastri in first, Norris in second, Russell third, Verstappen fourth, Antonelli fifth, Albon sixth, Leclerc seventh, Sainz eighth, Hülkenberg ninth, Hamilton 10th, Gasly 11th, Tsunoda 12th, Hadjar 13th, Ocon 14th, Bortoleto 15th, Alonso 16th, Stroll 17th, and Lawson in 18th position. And in fact, Alonso just gets ahead of Gabriel Bortoleto, the driver that has been mentoring for quite a while now. Bortoleto, I think, has a bit of an issue and loses a position to Alonso and Stroll, both at the same corner. All right. Lando did pull back 1 second over that VSC. Yeah, I think he must have caught... it must have been through the pit stops. I think they might have had a slow pit stop for Piastri and a quick pit stop for Norris, and that's how he pulled that gap back. Well, yeah, that explains it, isn't it? It's expected to be a dry race to the end, and... Yeah, that's what it is. Dry race to the end. You might see a couple of raindrops here and there, but apart from that, it looks to be dry. And yeah, the current point standing, George Russell is up in third position, but Max Verstappen is hot on his heels, and we can see what Max Verstappen capability is and how hardly he's going to battle every single position. So I expect a battle upcoming very, very soon. Hamilton, fastest lap of the race, sensational from Hamilton. He got a little bit of a break with that safety car, and now his job is now to catch up to Charles Leclerc. Leclerc's going to try and overtake Carlos Sainz. We've got Antonelli trying to overtake Alex Albon, Verstappen trying to close up to Russell, and we've got a lot of battles brewing here on the circuit. We've got 44,000 people tuning into the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for subscribing. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Really does help out the channel. And I will do the thing to try and get gain 5,000 subscribers in 1 second. We'll do that probably lap 35. But I will, if there's not too much going on, we'll coordinate it, because I know for a fact that 75% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if we could break that record, that would be pretty cool. 5,000 subscribers gained in a second would be mind blowing. Okay. I'm going to have a sip of water. It feels like I haven't taken a breath for the last half an hour. And Leclerc's up in 8th position. He's going to try and overtake Carlos Sainz. And Hamilton is closing up at a rate of knots. 5-second time penalty for Yuki Tsunoda, speeding in the pit lane. I think during the pit stops when he came in, clearly just didn't hit the brakes early enough and was speeding in the pit lane. So unfortunate there for Yuki Tsunoda. And that's 5 seconds going to be added on to his race time. Okay, so fastest lap of the race here from Oscar Piastri, and honestly, this is why we had a fastest lap counter. It was just to count the amount of times that Piastri or whoever would set a fastest lap, because I suspect we're going to end this race and Piastri's going to have 10 fastest laps to his name. Okay, Alefon Gaming, you're doing a great job as usual. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, Bortoleto, box to retire the car for Bortoleto. It looks like he's got issues. He's going around really slowly. Come on, Bortoleto, stop on the side of the circuit, please. Come on, please do it for the action. Stop on the side of the circuit. Don't go drive back into the pits, and then we'll get a full safety car coming out. That'll be fantastic. And he is slowing down, actually. Bortoletto's slowing down. He stopped on the side of the track. My wishes have been answered. Bortoletto stopped on the side of the circuit, and we might actually have a safety car deployed here. Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled. But Bortoletto, maybe there's a marshal post there which he might be able to pull into the side of. But if not, then we could have a full safety car deployed if Bortoletto's just stopped there on the side of the circuit. Okay. We'll see what happens there. Track is still currently clear. Bortoletto might have just pulled himself up to the side. There are a couple of escape roads here and there, and the escape roads mean that the drivers, if you are going slowly, if you have an issue, you can just pull into the side of the circuit, not cause a safety car, and it seems like Bortoletto may have done that. Oh no, virtual safety car deployed. Bortoletto hasn't pulled up to the side of the circuit. Honestly, I don't know what the TV directors are doing as well. They aren't showing Bortoletto stopped on the side of the track. VSC is out again, and I suspect the drivers that haven't come into the pits yet, like Gasly and like Hülkenberg, they'll be coming into the pits. Hülkenberg just unfortunately misses the pit stop window. Unfortunate there for Nico Hülkenberg. Otherwise, he would have got his pit stop done just a lap earlier. But Bortoletto pulled over to the side of the circuit, and the VSC is waving, but it's not going to be long now before we get underway. Bortoletto's car is pretty safely off to the side of the track now. Gasly with great timing, fantastic timing from Gasly, and a little bit unfortunate for Hülkenberg. If he pitted maybe 3 seconds earlier, or if they knew the VSC was coming out 3 seconds earlier, then he would have dived into the pit lane. I still don't know why it takes them so long though. It was Bortoletto was stopped on the side of the circuit for ages, Okay, what a race this has been, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And we've got 46,000 people tuning into the live stream. This is incredible, and really do appreciate all of the support. Okay, Norris comes over the radio saying, check George lifted. It was a yellow flag. So Norris coming over the radio trying to snitch on his fellow rival, George Russell, trying to get him a penalty. Not ideal there for him whatsoever. Okie dokes. Don't know what's gone on there. Very, very strange. But VSC is ending. DRS has been enabled, and we've got the drivers out on the circuit. Here we go then. All right, we are underway, and we have got, well, look at that gap up at the front, 7.5 seconds. Still looking good for Oscar Piastri in the lead of this race. Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, we've got a battle brewing here. The Williams versus Ferrari. Charles Leclerc just gets ahead of his former teammate, Carlos Sainz, and Sainz ends up losing the position to both of them. And through goes Hamilton. Oh, he was so close to getting ahead of Charles Leclerc. Leclerc just manages to hold on, but Sainz losing the positions to both Ferrari drivers. Very, very unfortunate. And Hamilton nearly overtook the both of them because they both went super deep into turn number 1, and Hamilton was about to get a double overtaken, but Charles Leclerc was like, no thank you, Lewis, I'll take this 7th place off you. And well, Lewis has now got DRS. He's got to focus ahead of him, he's got to focus behind him, but Leclerc has got no one ahead of him, and he's under threat of getting overtaken by his teammate. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we've got the tyre information as updated. I don't know if it's still the most up-to-date information, but it has updated at some point. But yeah, Hulkenberg still not coming into the pits here. I don't know. Well, I guess he didn't come into the pits because the VSC ended. But we've still got 23 laps of racing here, so we still could have a virtual safety car. Who knows what will happen? But yeah, we got a battle brewing between these drivers, and Oscar Piastri. Oh no, Oscar Piastri, purple first sector from him, as expected. He's catching up to Liam Lawson now. Blue flags are going to be waving, and Liam Lawson is going to be instructed to get out of the way. Okay. And yeah, Hulkenberg is now trying to get DRS of Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda in 10th position. He started the race in 10th. He's still in 10th place. Not ideal there for Tsunoda. Of course, he was 7 tenths back from Max Verstappen when in qualifying, in the pole for the pole lap and everything. But yeah, that pace hasn't improved much once we get to the race. Okay, yeah, Liam Lawson's getting lapped. Not ideal, really, for Lawson. Okay, also, folks, we are going to do... we've got how many people tuned into the live stream now? We've got 46,000 people tuned in. So, by my calculations, we have enough people that aren't subscribed to hit the subscribe button, and we can break the record of 5,000 subscribers gained in a second. So, when Piastri comes across the line for the next time, so now he's just started a flying lap here. He's going through turn number 1. When he comes across the start-finish line on the next lap... anyone that isn't subscribed, be sure to do so. If you want to unsubscribe later, be my guest. But if you could subscribe now, just to hit that record, that would be fantastic. So yeah. All right, but let's continue on with the commentary. We've got Lewis Hamilton in 8th position here, and he's trying to chase down Charles Leclerc. Sainz as well, he's got DRS. They're forming a bit of a DRS train. We'll see what happens there. And the McLaren civil wars are going to be great, but there's going to be no civil war if there's a 7-second gap between them. And Piastri is doing his absolute best to just make sure the gap is as big as possible. Fastest lap of the race again from Oscar Piastri. Total domination, really, from him, leading from the front like an absolute beast. So... yeah, he's making his way through the second sector now, and once he comes across the start-finish line, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, be sure to do so. Hopefully, we can, break a record. We can get 5,000 subscribers gained in a matter of, probably 10 seconds. I don't think it's going to be in 1 second, but nonetheless. All right, Hamilton comes over the race saying, I'm burning up my tyres behind him. So Hamilton saying, oh, let me switch. And you'll have to see it. Ferrari Civil War has been activated. Clearly, they're not working together as a duo, as the Williams duo were. But... yeah, Hamilton over the radio complaining, saying, oh, please. All right, folks, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, be sure to do so. Here comes Oscar Piastri across the start-finish line. He comes. How many subscribers are we going to gain then? We are on 154k, and it'll take a little while to update. It'll take probably a minute or so. But anyone that hasn't hit the subscribe button, be sure to do so. All right. Yeah, there we go. The numbers are jumping up now. We're getting loads of people subscribing. Thank you very, very much. We are, that's about 1,000 subscribers gained in 5 seconds there. So 1,000 subscribers gained, pretty good. And it just keeps on updating. So we'll wait and see what happens. But thank you everyone for hitting the subscribe button. And hopefully we can make our way towards 200k. 1,600 subscribers. Okay, they're incredible scenes. Further up at the front, Norris is closing that gap. He's got DRS from Liam Lawson for traffic, of course, and yeah, looking good there for Lando Norris. He's going to do his best to catch up to his teammate. So there we go then. I think that's what, 2,500 subscribers gained. I honestly, I probably should have checked how many we were on before we attempted the world record. But I think that's 2,500 subscribers gained. So not that close. Thank you everyone for subscribing regardless. We're getting pretty close to our subscriber target, to be fair. All right, we got Fernando Alonso coming, gets ahead of Nico Hülkenberg as Hülkenberg dives into the pit lane. And yeah. Oh, sorry, no, Hülkenberg just comes out of the pit lane and he comes out in 15th place. Alonso just getting out ahead of him. Okay. Russell does nothing, gets a podium. Yeah, I mean, he does nothing except from driving with no mistakes, really, flawlessly. And he's on the alternate strategy, of course, and that's the thing. Verstappen, he would try to catch up. He'll try and catch up to Russell, but the thing is that he's on the hard tyres, Russell's on the mediums. It's going to be impossible. Even if Verstappen had a slightly quicker car, it would be a very tall order. And given that the Mercedes and the Red Bull are on level pegging and, well, Russell is on fresher medium tyres. It's a very uphill battle. We'll keep our eyes peeled on the gap, but it was 2.3 seconds just a couple of laps ago. Just a couple of seconds ago, sorry, and now it's 2.5 seconds. Okay. It was 154 4,000. Okay, so we gained like 1,500 subscribers in like 10 seconds. It takes a while to update, but 10 seconds is pretty incredible. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, they say want to keep the DRS to Charles to go ahead. I don't know exactly what's going on, but Hamilton obviously not very happy with the team order situation. He wants to get ahead of Charles. Charles wants to get ahead. Charles wants to stay ahead of Lewis. It is this is not good teamwork. That's all I'm going to say. Hamilton's dropping absolute spicy radio messages here. And the thing is now, Sainz isn't even a threat anymore. Sainz has dropped off the back of Hamilton. He's not under threat of being overtaken. So if they wanted to switch, they could, but is it going to happen? Let's wait and see. What do you guys think? Are they going to switch the two drivers? Is Leclerc going to remain ahead? Are they going to say battle it out on track? If you want to overtake him, do it on the circuit. Just no contact, please. Are they going to switch them around? We'll have to wait and see. Okie dokes. We've got 45,000 people tuning in this live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. And, Hamilton gets ahead. I don't know if that was team orders. Let's have a look. They swapped the cars into turn number 17. Give Hamilton a chance to pass on the mediums. If he doesn't pass, let him. Okay, so that's what they're saying. Give Hamilton a chance. Except that who is Hamilton giving a chance to? Hamilton is like 5 seconds back from Antonelli. So I guess he's got a couple of laps to try and catch Antonelli. That's probably what he's got to do. So yeah, but now they've done that switch. Sainz has closed up a little bit. They're gonna Ferrari, they've done the driver switch, but they've lost time. This is look at this. I'm not stupid. I didn't know Carlos were that close. That's what Leclerc says over the radio. Ferrari are masters of screwing things up. They've just switched around their drivers, and now they've allowed Carlos Sainz to catch up. I mean, Ferrari, standing ovation for just screwing up strategy today. Norris with the previous fastest lap. Yeah, Norris currently not setting a fast lap. Both drivers have backed off a little bit. They're doing a little bit of tyre conservation because they do know that, potentially we've still got 18 laps left of this race and there could be a safety car. And in that situation, they need to have their tyres in a drivable state because George Russell behind them, he's going to be on the mediums. So yeah, the Piastri and Norris, they need to keep their tyres in check. Sure, they want to try and catch up to each other, but if they don't keep their tyres in check, then if there's a safety car, George Russell's going to overtake both of them and take the race win, which is not what the McLaren team want. I didn't know that Lawson had retired. Honestly, neither did I. Honestly, I saw that chat message. So Lawson damage on his side pod, and that is him out of the race. He was right at the back of the pack, and the reason he was right at the back of the pack was he had contact between himself and Doohan. Turn 1, lap 1, damaged his side pod, damaged his floor, and he had a huge loss of lap time because of that. And because of that, he retired from the race. Very, very unfortunate there for Liam Lawson. Okay, 18 laps remain of this race here, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think is going to win this race? What's the time loss for a pit stop? The drivers lose 22 seconds driving through the pit lane here and getting a pit stop done. So 22 seconds is the pit stop loss. Yeah, I mean, just looking at this Piastri, if he came into the pits, he would still come out ahead of George Russell, which is mind-blowing, actually. So I guess they don't really need to conserve his tyres. I mean, Piastri doesn't, Norris does, but yeah, Piastri, he could come into the pits now and still stay out ahead of George Russell. And as you can see, yeah, they come over the radio to George Russell. That third message from the bottom on the right, second message from the bottom. How are the tyres for the safety car restart? They feel okay. Copy. They are very aware of the fact that we may get another safety car, may get a virtual safety car, and they have to be prepared for that scenario. Okay, 17 laps remain of this race, and we've got Piastri up in first position, 6.6 seconds ahead of Lando Norris. All right. Also, I do have to mention, folks, I am sponsored by Surfshark VPN. If you guys do want to watch Surfshark, or do you want to watch Formula One for $2 a month, you pay $2 a month for Surfshark. You join an Austrian VPN server. You go onto Google, you search Servers TV, and you can watch Formula One for free via Austria. The commentary is German, so if you're a German and watching this, out the 45,000 people watching, it's perfect for you. You can listen to the German commentary, and if you're not German, then you can mute the commentary and listen to mine instead. But yeah, I do have to mention that since I'm sponsored by Surfshark VPN. But apart from that, I'm doing my best to block all of the adverts from YouTube, so you guys aren't getting any more adverts from YouTube and getting random ads while someone's about to make an overtake. Imagine you get an advert about, like, I don't know, Lego or whatever. A little bit pointless. So I'm doing my best to block those. Leclerc comes over the radio, starts complaining, saying, "Oh, I'm in Hamilton's dirty air now, and Hamilton isn't pulling away. So now science is catching up to me." And what can I say, Charles? It is the Ferrari way. I definitely did get ads when I tuned into the stream. I can't do anything about the ads when you click on the live stream, but during the live stream I can block every single advert pretty much. So yeah, I'm just doing my best to block any adverts when this live stream is actually happening. But the first time you click on it, there's nothing I can do. YouTube just says you have to watch an advert, and yeah, apologies for that. All right, there's an incident been noted. Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly have been noted for a yellow flag infringement, and a yellow flag infringement, what that means is the yellow flag is waving, or the virtual safety car is waving, and the drivers don't slow down adequately enough, so they don't lift off the throttle enough, they don't back off, they don't brake or whatever. So that is what is going on, and they will be investigated. Sainz and Gasly, I'll let you know what the outcome of that is. It depends how severe it is. If Sainz did a little lift and not a big lift, maybe he'll get away with it, but if he went just flat through a yellow flag, then maybe he will get a penalty. So I'll let you know what happens. Max, personal best lap time there from him, and 4/10 gained, actually. Max has gained 4/10 on George Russell. How has this happened? Russell hasn't got traffic ahead of him. He hasn't made a mistake. But Verstappen gained 4/10 of a second on the previous lap, and we may be getting a battle here, ladies and gentlemen. F1 Gamer, who do you think will be the most consistent in McLaren throughout the season, Piastri or Norris? And I'm going to go with Piastri. I think Oscar Piastri is the driver who's going to be the most consistent. If he finishes this race without DNFing, that is going to be 34 races in a row Oscar Piastri has driven without DNFing the car, which is incredible consistency. He has the lowest DNF rate out of any of the drivers on the grid right now. He also has... Well, apart from yesterday's qualifying session, he was within a 10th of every single pole position to this season so far. Either he was on pole position or he was within a 10th, apart from yesterday. So great consistency from Norris, and I think he's going to be the slightly more consistent McLaren driver this season. Okay, and here we are, lap number 43 of 57. We've got 15 laps remaining of this race, and yeah, Max Verstappen is down in 4th place. We've got Russell in 3rd, Norris in 2nd, and Piastri in 1st. Okay. If we're looking here at the rookies, ladies and gentlemen, it's not been a good day for the rookies. We have got Lawson, Bortoleto, Behrman and Doohan. All 4 of them have retired. Of course, Doohan with a collision, Behrman with a mechanical issue, Bortoleto with a mechanical issue as well, and then Lawson with damage from the collision with Doohan. So 2 issues for 2 Ferrari engines as well. Particularly strange. I don't know why Ferrari engines are having issues today, but for whatever reason they are having issues, and things not going particularly well for them. Okay, be sure to hit the like button, folks. Be sure to subscribe. I'll be commentating for the Imola Grand Prix, which is happening in 2 weeks' time. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to tune in to that stream as well. We're going to have some fantastic racing there. Okie dokes, we've got 45,000 people tuned into the stream. Rookie Alonso is also in P5. Yeah, not ideal there for Alonso. 15th position. The Aston Martins look like they are tractors, and not even the alternate strategy can help them out today. All right. Yeah, Hamilton is on the medium tyres, Leclerc's on the hard, so it's fair enough to let Hamilton go by and let him stay ahead. The thing is, though, Hamilton isn't closing up. Well, the gap between Hamilton and Leclerc is still 1 second, so Hamilton actually isn't pulling away from Leclerc whatsoever. And yeah, so look, Hamilton, even though he's on the medium tyres, isn't quicker than Leclerc. So maybe by the end of the race, they'll switch them back around. We'll wait and see what happens. But as of right now, the Hamilton is ahead. They switched them via team orders. Maybe by the end of the race, they'll switch them back. All right. Norris gained a second. Yeah, it's 6 seconds now. I think it's been 6 seconds for a while, actually. I don't know. But there's still 14 laps after this race, so he's got to gain half a second for 14 laps straight, and then he'll catch up to Piastri. Like, still, a very big margin left to go. Okay. Yeah, here we go then. The race has died down a little bit. So far, ladies and gents, what do you think? What would you rate this race out of 10? And also, who would be your driver of the day? Gasly started the race in 20th position. He's up into 7th, albeit 4 of those positions were just from... he's up into 13th. That gained 7 positions, but 4 of those positions gained were just from DNFs. I'd have to say Piastri, really. The battle that he had with Verstappen, he was stuck behind Verstappen for a while, but then he managed to actually get that overtake done and then drive off into the sunset. And then Norris, he was stuck behind Verstappen for longer, and then didn't manage to get ahead of, and then finally did manage to get ahead of him, but then didn't also drive into the sunset like Piastri did. So it's I'm going to go with Piastri maybe, but Verstappen just for providing a show, really great show from Verstappen, defending against Piastri and Norris, and maybe just Verstappen for that one. Not sure. Yeah, the rain was teasing us, really. The rain was saying, oh, we're going to start falling. It's going to start falling in 10 minutes. But no, no rain. There was huge forecasts for thunderstorms and everything, but nothing materialized, which is a little bit sad, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, here we go then. We are approaching lap number 45 of 57. 13 laps remain of this race. We are 500 subscribers away from the subscriber target. Also, ladies and gents, if you are interested in getting Surfshark VPN, don't want to pay the $2 a month, I am running a giveaway. So just to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and type one message into the chat, and then you automatically get entered into the giveaway. So yeah, if you guys are interested, go ahead and check. Go ahead and just type a single message into the chat. You get entered into the giveaway. I'll announce the race winners, the winners of the giveaway for the race after Imola. I forgot which race it is, but the race after Imola is when I'll announce it. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so here we go then. Lap number 46 of 57. 12 laps remain of this race. Here we go then. Right. So Leclerc on the back of Lewis Hamilton. And I think we might have a Ferrari civil war here. I don't know. Which driver do you think is going to end up ahead? Charles Leclerc is on the tail of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's medium tyres are going to wear out. Sooner or later, the hard tyres are going to become quicker than the medium tyres. And, well, Hamilton is going to, come under pressure from Charles Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz is right there waiting in the wings. As soon as the Ferrari civil war begins, Carlos Sainz will be there to capitalise. So let's wait and see. And it's quite poetic, really. As soon as the Ferrari civil war begins, Carlos Sainz, the driver who just left Ferrari, is there to try and overtake. All right, Norris is catching again. Yeah, he is. I mean, the gap down to 4.8 seconds, but honestly, I wouldn't think too much of it. Piastri has just overtaken Stroll, so once Norris has to overtake Stroll, then he'll lose a bit of time. Once Piastri has to overtake Alonso, he'll lose a bit of time. Then Norris has also... It's all just because of traffic. Like, yes, Piastri may be going slightly slower, but also traffic is holding him up. So I wouldn't worry too much if you are a Piastri fan. All right. Here we are then. All right, let me get a quick sip of water. I'll be back in just a second. But honestly, my throat is starting to hurt, and it feels, yeah, honestly, I've felt like I haven't breathed. I don't know what the word is now. Took a breath for the last half an hour. Yeah. All right. Also, folks, if you haven't taken a sip of water, I recommend you guys should. You know, it's good to stay hydrated. Very, very important. And, you know, these Formula One drivers staying hydrated, of course, they've got their drinks bottles hopefully not leaking everywhere, and they'll be taking sips of that throughout the race. Track temperature down to 35 degrees, so this is why we're seeing everyone being able to pull off one stops, because track temperature is so low compared to what we saw in quali, sprint quali. Track temperature was up in like 50-degree range. It was so hot. Oh, was that sprint quali? Or was that sprint quali? It was up in the 50-degree range. It was super hot, and because track temperature is lower now, we can see a lot less tyre wear. All right, folks. F1 Gamer, do you think Albon is going to get a podium this season? I am hopeful that Albon or Sainz, one of the two Williams drivers, will get a podium. Here comes Charles Leclerc, actually, getting extremely close going through the middle sector here, and he's practically pushing Hamilton through some of these corners at this point, and he's on those hard tyres, which are technically slower, but at this point in the race, they might be actually quicker, and here comes Charles Leclerc. He's got the DRS open, he's got the slipstream open, he's going to be pressing K1, but so is Lewis Hamilton. Let's see. Oh, they're coming over the radio to Antonelli here. Just info, you're braking 10 meters earlier into turn number 17 compared to George, and 7 meters earlier into turn number 11. This thing, you know, the rookies here, they haven't nailed everything down, especially once the tires start wearing. Like in a quali lap, you're always on a fresh set of softs, so your braking points are always going to be the same. But once you're on a race run and your tires wear out and you don't know the certain percentage of tire wear and things like that, you have to be able to feel, you know, what the tires are doing, and then try and, you know, push the limits and brake as late as possible. And Antonelli, of course, rookie, hasn't got all of those skills nailed down as of yet, but his engineer will be helping him over the radio and telling him what Russell's doing and hoping that Antonelli can emulate him. All right, here comes Charles Leclerc. Then DRS open, slipstream open, and through turn number 9 they go, and up towards turn number 11. Also, folks, do let me know what you think of the new layout for the stream. Do you think it's much more, information? Do you think it's better, worse? Is there anything I should change? Be sure to let me know, because I think I'll try and make the stream better and better. And if there's anything that you think that should be changed or improved, be sure to let me know. If it's a little bit of a longer chat comment, if you can comment it on a previous stream or whatever, it's much easier for me to find. So if you have like a long, well thought out thing or whatever, like that's multiple paragraphs, then be sure to drop that in a comment and I will definitely read it. Yeah. All right, we've got 9 laps after this race, and Piastri is 4 seconds clear of Lando Norris. And yeah, he's cleared up Fernando Alonso. Norris yet to clear Fernando Alonso, so he'll lose a little bit of time there. But still, 9 laps after this race, and Norris is, he's closing up, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Piastri's got still a lot of pace left in the car. Layout is good, like the new layout. Yeah, I think this layout is better, especially for the team radios, because you can see the team radios stay on the screen for a lot longer. Previously, we would only have 5 team radios on the screen at a time, and they would scroll by so quickly you wouldn't be able to read them. But I think with a couple more team radios on the screen, it makes it a little bit easier. At F1 Gimbal, what makes them decide between a virtual safety car and a safety car? Typically, with a virtual safety car, the issues can be wrapped up within the space of about a very short period of time, probably 2 to 3 minutes, and it doesn't require like a lorry going onto the circuit to pick a car up, whereas a full safety car, you need a full safety car if there's a lorry that has to go out onto the circuit to like pick a car up, pick up a bunch of debris. That's when the safety car comes out. But if it's a driver's just retired on the side of the track and you just need the marshals to push them into the side of the barriers, then a virtual safety car will suffice. Okay. Here we go then. Leclerc struggling to keep within DRS range. Well, he's half a second back going into turn number 17. He should have a shot actually going in towards turn number 1. It's going to be difficult because Hamilton with those medium tyres, they may not be quicker overall, but they are certainly getting better traction. And the dirty air is certainly not helping out Charles Leclerc in terms of the traction department. So even though Leclerc may be quicker overall on a lap, he just doesn't have the traction out of the final corner to gain on Lewis Hamilton and make an overtake. Okay. Thank you everyone for hitting the like button. Thank you everyone for subscribing. Very much is appreciated. Hope to see you guys tuning in for the Imola stream in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, in 2 weeks' time we'll be racing in Imola, and that will be absolutely fantastic. Okie dokes then. Yeah, still the Ferraris continue battling away, now going towards P11, and yeah, still not looking ideal there for... Not looking ideal, yeah, for the Ferraris. Okie dokes. So just like me, everyone here can't afford F1 TV. Well, if you guys can't afford F1 TV, what you can do, get Surfshark VPN. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the chat. I probably won't mention it again in the stream, but maybe I'll mention it one more time. But all you've got to do is get Surfshark VPN for $2 a month by using the 2-year plan, and then you can join the Austrian VPN server, search Servers TV, and then you got Formula One for $2 a month. Oh, Cesar32, thank you for the donation. Very much is appreciated. I hate that fact that I'm living in Germany, but I cannot watch Service TV because I don't live in Austria. Well, you can technically live in Austria if you have Surfshark VPN. Yeah. All right, I'll stop talking about that, and we'll continue on with the battle between Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Norris is closing up a little bit, but now, given that there is no traffic ahead for Piastri, no traffic ahead for Norris, they should be okay now to go to the end of this race with no issues. Why isn't Max getting DRS? I don't know, actually. Max is only 1.5 seconds back from Russell, and now is perfect time to pounce because those medium tyres are now worn out. They've worn out quite significantly. The hard tyres are definitely going to be quicker. So Verstappen now, it is prime opportunity for him to start attacking George Russell. We've got 6 laps after this race, and it could make the end very, very climactic. And he is gaining as well. So let's wait and see. Who do you think it's going to be? Will we see that? Will we see Verstappen close up on George Russell, and will we see him overtake? Will we see Charles Leclerc overtake Hamilton? Will the Ferrari teams say that they're going to swap? Oh, they said so. Lewis was not informed. He has now been informed that we'll swap the cars into turn number 17. That's what they're saying. So have they swapped the cars into turn number 17? They're still doing it with Carlos Sainz is not all that far back. They haven't swapped the cars into turn number 17. I don't know what's going on there, but they said over the radio that they were, and now they haven't. Into turn number 1, do they swap? Still no swapping. All right. Leclerc says, then we'll discuss after race. Otherwise, we're going to lose more time than anything. So, yeah, they haven't closed the gap up really to answer. I mean, they have. The gap was previously 4 seconds. It's now down to 2.2. The thing is, with 6 laps after this race, are they going to close up? Are they going to get overtakes done? Turbo Tide, thank you for the donation. Very much is appreciated, buddy. Yeah, Lewis definitely just want to swap positions. So we will follow the swap in 11, please. That's what they said. Swap into turn number 11. That's what they say over the team radios. Here they go towards turn number 11. Leclerc gets the swap done. Okay, they get the swap done. Hamilton listens to the team radio. They work together as a team, admittedly, after a little bit of fighting over the radio, and Charles Leclerc gets that 7th place spot, and now he's in prime position to try and overtake Kimi Antonelli. He's got 5 laps left to go, and a 3-second gap. It's going to be a tall order, but we'll see if he can get it done. And Verstappen now, he is trying his absolute best. Those hard tyres are so worn out, and he's giving them absolutely everything. Try and stay ahead of George Russell and Russell as well. He's getting told over the radio 5 laps remaining, and everything, all the information he needs, and he's going to try and stay ahead of Max Verstappen. Okay. Nicely done. We've got 43,000 people tuned into the live stream. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you are enjoying the coverage, be sure to subscribe, and hope to see you guys around for the stream in Imola. Yeah. All right. Here we go then. Another donation, by the way. That's my first ever donation to me. Thank you very much, mate. Well, that's your second donation, so very much is appreciated there, buddy. All right, here we go then. We've got 4 laps remaining of this race, and we have got Lewis Hamilton there. He's slipstreaming off the back of Charles Leclerc. It looks like he's not going to get that overtake done, but yeah, they're not going to swap anyway, given that they've just swapped positions back now. But yeah, the Ferraris have settled down, and it looks like they're going to continue in 7th and 8th position, not ideally where they want to be today. But Albon, I must say, Alex Albon, actually, my drive of the day is going to go to Alex Albon. What a drive from him. Yeah, right place, right time. He worked together as a team with Carlos Sainz to make sure that he didn't get overtaken too early on in the race. Unfortunately, he couldn't help him for later on in the race, and Sainz got overtaken by both Ferraris. Albon, though, fantastic job. 5th position there for him. Okay. And they're coaching Max Verstappen over the radio, saying, press overtake it halfway down the straight, do this, do that, everything and anything they can to try and help Max Verstappen close up. But the gap's now just risen over to 2 seconds, and the overtake on George Russell is looking a little unlikely. Okay. F1 Gamer waiting for the Piastri scream. Honestly, Piastri, I don't know, great drive from Piastri. I don't know how I'm gonna say he's won the race. I've got to think about it. I'm not going to say he wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, because that's what I said in Saudi Arabia, which was a pretty big fumble from my part. Yeah. All right. Turbo Ty, thank you for another donation. Very much is appreciated. Max is saying he's going in neutral. Is his car okay? I don't know. He needs to play with a downshifter. I guess that's... Verstappen. Gearbox issues for Verstappen. He's lost a second to Russell, and his car is shifting into neutral. They need to delay the downshift or avoid it completely. So Verstappen's having issues with downshifts. The gap behind to Albon is 9 seconds, so he's got a bit of leeway. But they're just saying, just make sure you're within 5 seconds max, please. So they think Russell might get a penalty for something. I don't think he will, but they're just saying, just in case something happens, stay within 5 seconds. And Verstappen now, potential gearbox issues. Maybe they will have fixed them. Sometimes you just need to change a couple of settings on the steering wheel and all of the issues disappear. But yeah, it's a bit odd, really. He's shifting into neutral while he's driving at 200 miles per hour. Not the most typical thing you've seen. All right. Yeah, lap number 55 of 57. And yeah, we have got Oscar Piastri in the lead of this race, Lando Norris in 2nd place, and George Russell in 3rd position. And if the point standings stay like this, Oscar Piastri is going to gain 7 points on Lando Norris, go up to 131 points in the championship, and he's going to have a nice healthy lead over his teammate, which I'm sure he'll be very pleased about. Okie dokes. We're getting very close to our subscriber target as well, folks. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, be sure to do that. It would be fantastic to hit 157k. That puts us on track for 200k by the end of the season. And yeah, we're getting pretty close to our like target as well. Yeah, they're just telling Max to keep up the pace, really. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I guess the issue's been fixed by this point. So currently the top 10 has got 2 Mercedes cars, 2 Red Bull cars, 2 McLaren cars, 2 Ferraris, and 2 Williams. So we've clearly got the 5 fastest teams in the top 10. Of course, McLaren, 1, 2, it looks like they are clearly the fastest. Then Mercedes, potentially 2nd fastest, or maybe Red Bull, or shall I say Max Verstappen, 3rd, 2nd fastest. And then Ferrari look to be slower. Well, Albon's quicker than both Ferraris. Sainz is quicker. Sainz is slower than both Ferraris. So Sainz and Williams and Ferrari are level with each other. You know, back in the glory days when it was Williams versus Ferrari in the 80s, but unfortunately now it's Williams versus Ferraris, but they're battling for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. All right, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the final lap of the race. We have got Oscar Piastri leading the way from the front. He has got a little bit of traffic ahead of him of Nico Hülkenberg and Pierre Gasly, but they'll get out of the way very nicely. And this is the final lap of the Miami Grand Prix. We had rain forecast at the start of this race, but no rain materialized. We were always constantly told, 10 minutes away, 10 minutes away, and then suddenly we were told the rain is not going to be hitting the circuit. Regardless, we had some fantastic battling between Max Verstappen and Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. The battling was immense. It was crazy. Every single lap after lap, sensational defending from Max Verstappen. But both McLaren drivers emerged victorious over the stricken Red Bull with a bad set of upgrades. Just hasn't been working that well for Max Verstappen. He's closing up to the back of George Russell, but it's not going to be close enough. All eyes now turn to Oscar Piastri. He heads towards turn number 17. He has led this race ever since he overtook Max Verstappen. He has set 12 fastest laps in the process. He comes out of the final corner to win the Miami Grand Prix. Lando Norris in second place. It is a McLaren 1-2. 1 year on from when they got their first win in 2024, they get a McLaren 1-2, which is fantastic. George Russell is in third place, a long way back. Look at the gap between the McLarens and George Russell, 30 seconds. That's how much quicker the papaya cars are, and the cars are already on recharge mode. They're picking up all of the tyre debris to make sure they don't fall under the weight limit. We got George Russell, a great drive from him, and he comes out of the final corner. He stays ahead of Max Verstappen, just hangs on with those medium tyres. It's a podium here for George Russell. Brilliant drive. Max Verstappen, with the issues with his gearbox and just not that quick of a Red Bull car, in 4th position. He's not going to be happy about that. Alex Albon in 5th place. Best finish for Williams in the previous 7 years. Absolutely fantastic from Alex Albon. And well, we hope to see more of the same. Antonelli across the line in 6th place, Charles Leclerc in 7th, Hamilton in 8th. Sainz chases Hamilton down to come across the line 4 tenths back from him. It's 9th place for Sainz, and it's 10th place for Hadjar, 10th place for Tsunoda, 11th for Hadjar, 12th for Ocon, and 13th for Gasly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into the live stream. It's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. What is going to happen now, it's going to end, the stream's going to end, it's going to take you over to the Imola stream. If you could just hit the like button on the Imola stream, if you could hit the reminder button for the Imola stream, I will see you in 2 weeks' time. I would love to carry on commentating, but I've got an exam in 2 days, and I'm going to need to pull out a Max Verstappen qualifying lap level of performance of revision tomorrow and the day after if I'm going to do well. So I really have to get some sleep. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Hit the like button for the Imola stream. Hit the notify me button, the reminder button. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. I've got to revise. This race has been absolutely mega, and I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.